You're never busy with Eve. You are passing time with Eve.
Yeah, that's true.
You're working on Eve.
He is taking out his massive spreadsheet on one of his many screens.
There's
looking
never a
at Eve.
situation where you're.
I've
where you
never
can't
played
do
Eve like
anything.
that. I've never played Eve like that, where I've actually gone full nerd mode into like.
That's the only way That's the only way I've ever heard it played. That's the big thing
I've just.
You're never busy with Eve. You are
That's fair.
passing time with Eve.
Yeah,
No.
I was just getting to that.
You're working on Eve.
He is taking out his massive spreadsheet on one of his many screens.
There's
looking
I'll
never
at
a
kick you from
situation
the
where
fucking
you're-
call in a minute.
I've
where you
never
can't
played
do
Eve
it.
like that.
Oh wow!
Never
I just heard
played Eve
myself.
like that,
That was
where I've
okay.
actually
Never mind.
gone
I just got
full nerd
Rivals
mode into,
stream.
like,
That's the only way
Okay.
That's the only way
So,
I've ever heard it played.
Who
That's
wants
the
to do the
big
recap
thing
of
I've
last
ever
week?
seen
You're
in
never
my life.
busy with Eve. You
So,
are
That's fair.
passing time with Eve.
Yeah,
No.
I was just
Okay,
getting to that.
last
I was
week
just
you're
getting to that,
working
right?
on you lot.
He is taking
woke
out
up
his massive
from
spreadsheet. on
your
one of his many
merriment
screens.
after
I'll
the
kick you from the
holiday,
fucking call in a minute.
I've never
and kind of went about trying to shop around. Well, not shop around immediately. You wanted to get to work on a couple of items, including finding some more information about Mog's brother, his location, and the individuals that currently have him. Only to find out that those individuals, while do have a residence inside of the city and have recently been here, left not too long ago. Meaning that you missed them. On top of that, you also discussed kind of your immediate plans. But before too much was able to be done, after Mog was confronted with the fact that she had missed her brother once again, you were inconvenienced by a group of rapscallions in the alleyways in Paramin. At which point, you proceeded to throw down with them in a very just not okay way.
What you mean?
The phrase you're looking for,
Somebody
Roach,
turned
is,
into a
"We
T-Rex.
fucked them up."
Twice.
Somebody turned into a T-Rex twice. Killing most of them.
All
Though
of
one
them.
was able to, one was able to get away for a period before turning the corner. Turns out Sala had come back to try and find you, and in the ensuing way, she killed him in an odd way.
She pulled out her
with
gat and shot him
with
in the
an
head.
implement that you did not know. And we left off. Did I miss anything?
No, that's pretty accurate. Yeah,
That's pretty
that's pretty
accurate.
accurate. Yeah.
Dino time.
My brain is just filled with Aurora 4X stuff right now because I've been playing that nonstop all week. So I'm
So if you missed last week's episode, was what you missed is the first ever instance of a firearm being fired in this D&D campaign, and Isaac roaming around as a T-Rex.
Oh, and Ustinia being Ustinia, aka he murdered some fellas quite easily.
yeah. Also
Rival-
finding,
rival
out that Ustinia's hard counter is a rogue.
Yeah, and rival kill stealing. That's the Rivallon kill stealing. Just normal way of life, I guess.
No, it's kill confirming.
All right, fair enough. Yeah.
It's
All right,
making
cool.
sure nobody escapes.
Not necessarily, because Sala was all basically kill stole from Rivallon.
That's true.
Rivallon was getting in the position to shoot down an alley and kill
She
the guy.
played his game against him.
Which is why I believe we ended the session.
I'm going to turn on a
Rivallon,
fan because it is sweltering in this room right now. I don't know
Yeah.
why.
Which I believe is what is why the session ended on Rivallon saying she was the perfect woman, and then we faded to black.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, we should possibly catch up on pleasantries outside of this alley, surrounded by the dead bodies.
Well, if we start running now,
If
we're
you
running.
hear something, I'm sorry, but I need the fan on. It's so hot in here right now.
That's okay.
We should just report this to the guards. We were totally in the right here. We were defending ourselves. They were probably brigands anyway.
It's a half a man, so a little ways down.
There's just a dude with nothing above like the neckline. Just
Oh yeah, there's the one right in front of Sala who's missing a head.
yep.
Also, by the way, as because you're all we're out of combat and everything, you're all like gathering. You do see Sala after she said what happened, in like a broken common kind of way. She begins to, not like consciously, but like almost robotically trained ways. You see her messing with the implement, the gun. Fuck it, the gun.
Get.
And begin going through kind of what seems to be a practice procedure of loading it as she's watching you talk.
Well, one thing's for sure, we need to hide that. And I point at the implement she's holding. But
Maybe
quite
best
honestly,
if-
Isaac, between the noise you made and the noise she made, they're already on the way here.
I'm wondering whether it's best to ask, well, maybe cast your understanding spell again, Sesh, and ask Salah to leave, and maybe Isaac too. If they were to search us, it may not be best. It's up
I
to
was
you,
wondering
though.
what Roach was doing, and then it hit.
She's just loading the gun. She's loading the gun.
Yeah.
She can't understand you. She's got most
I do this
been-
to Salah. Just boop, sending. Sorry,
sending.
not sending tongues. Hi.
Hello.
We'll ask questions later. First of all, you and Isaac need to go.
All right. She puts it back into her saddlebags that she carries because she has no other storage options.
We'll meet you back at the
Red
Tavern.
Rogue.
All right.
Bye. Don't get yourselves killed while you're gone.
I'll make sure he's okay.
Thank you, Salah, for looking after him, because he obviously needs to be looked after.
She didn't see him turn into a dinosaur.
No, I'm saying that very obviously because I think he needs to be looked after.
You did just okay.
I just did stealth.
I noticed. What were you trying to stealth?
I'm stealthing myself. Someone's got to keep an eye on him. We already established that
Alright.
Isaac
Peace.
can't take care of himself.
Fair enough. So yeah, we look around to see Rivallon and like, oh, for fuck's sake.
The sound effect of a Klingon cruiser cloaking plays. And then he's gone.
No, it's just a mysterious stranger
Or a
strum.
Romulan in X class.
It's the mysterious
'cause I'm a
stranger
nerd.
strum from Fallout. Just
No, that's
Sorry.
when he appears.
that's yeah, but it's equally deadly.
Right. Mog is going to go quickly over. There was a wizard or someone, wasn't there?
Priest.
Priest.
Yeah.
She's going
A
to
magic
quickly
user.
go over to him and see if he's got a spell book.
Spell book. Let me double check that NPC just to see if that's.
Because if he's a
Pretty sure.
sorry,
it's
if he's a
cleric.
divine caster, he won't need a spell book. But if he isn't,
Exact-
he needs one.
If he isn't, he does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just need to look at him.
Or another focus.
Yeah, like a holy symbol. He could have a holy symbol of some kind.
Because that's a thing Mog's going to be doing soon.
Yes, indeed.
Red wriggles eyebrows into the
uses
screen.
cleric spells, so
He has a holy
would
symbol
not-
then.
he would not have a spell book. He just have a holy symbol.
That is. What is the holy symbol? Do I recognise it?
It seems to be a crudely carved image of a like a deer's head.
Could I roll religion?
Sure.
I've gone, so yeah.
You're gone.
Yeah.
Peace.
Whilst you're
Oh.
having a look. Oh, bloody hell.
Okay. You look at it. It looks to be a symbol of a. You don't have direct knowledge of it, but you have seen it before. It's like a local. It's a local outer, like a demigod of the harvest, kind of individual. Because I rolled to see how easy it was to know it. You don't recognize. You don't know the name. You just know that it's some sort of like harvest
Local
deity.
demigod harvest
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, like a local god. You know how some Greek city-states would have like their own, or cities themselves would have their own like patron or god.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
wouldn't be kind of.
So he looks at the
that.
symbol and goes, I assume the guards would know this. It seems to be some sort of localized harvest symbol, I guess, would be the best way to place it.
Very good. Speaking of that, guard, guard, guard.
We've been
Oh, right.
attacked! They say not any of them covered in blood except for Ustinia, most of it not his own.
Okay. actually, because I just rolled to see what their response was. As soon as you like go and start and like you're midway through your syllable of "Gah," you see a band of 5 city guards in their armor with their their spears coming around the corner. Just
Is that
coming-
19-year-old kid in there?
Yeah, he's in the bunch. He's not the
Oh.
first. He's not the first guy in there.
Smart
But-
kid.
He's not
Smart
the first
kid.
guy in there, but
Don't be
They're
first.
coming back, and they're like they round the corner, and they're just like ready because they've just heard like the 5 times
Roaring and then a bang.
chugging along, and they
Yep.
it's come across. They see you all standing and just dead people, and an older gentleman with like graying goatee through his helmet face just yells out put your weapons down wherever
I
you
drop
are.
my warhammer and then I say, we were attacked by these people. We defended ourselves.
Spread out a little bit like the that's not good. The 19-year-old spreads out as well and then gets to look at the half a person that Ustenia left near and then just he doesn't actually go
He doesn't
throw
go
up,
the whole way.
but there's definitely you can hear it.
There's a moment of just,
Yeah.
oh no.
It's dry heaving.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
The older man. Okay, we don't need to do that because some people have a reaction to
Yeah.
that.
Some people will
Yeah.
actually need to run to their bathroom.
Yeah.
Right.
But the older gentleman like looks back at him, just gives him like this man up.
Just, bruh,
They come forward. and
grow some
Identify
cunts.
yourselves. Who are you?
I am Laseshel Zashi of the Turquoise Company. This is Margaret Prongfoot of the Turquoise Company. Ustenia Opakin of the Tribe of Opakin and the Turquoise Company. We were here waiting for our returning goods from the desert. We had been in the desert for several weeks and we arrived here 2 days ago now. We were staying in the Red Rogue Inn. We were doing some mild investigation work around town for Margaret. You may ask her your own questions about that. That is not my information to discuss. And while we were chatting about what to do next, these individuals here attacked us. I found one of them with this holy symbol. Seems it was one of their focus for spell casting. And yeah. Seems they picked the wrong bunch of people to attack in an alley.
He gives a couple of hand signals, and some of the older guards like kind of like they're just keeping an eye on you, but they're going to the bodies and they're checking them.
Yep, they're definitely dead.
Rivallon says from the distance somewhere.
They're checking them, looking through their items, and they're like what they've got on them. The older gentleman kind of looks between you lot. Like persuasion check, because you're telling the truth, but it's
13.
like spear slow, like doesn't go down, but it's less primed. I keep hitting my mic. Less primed. All right. You seem to have done a number on them.
It's not our first rodeo.
Right. This isn't how we normally do things in the city.
We were attacked and there was no guard around. Do you expect us not to defend ourselves?
Calling out first might have helped. Razzo here was quite nearby. You look,
I
it's
won't
the 19-year-old
lie.
kid that's just like it's still like he's not driving anymore, but he's off to the side, just going.
Just focusing, just deep breaths.
He's you know, like fist in the like.
Breathe through the mouth, kid. Makes things easier.
Has anybody got a
Eek.
paperback?
I just shouted some advice at him, like, breathe through your mouth, kid. It'll make things easier. Also, we're not really used to being in towns when we were attacked. This is the first time in ever, I think, this company has been attacked while inside city walls.
Yes,
Wasn't our
but you've
first
all
reaction.
existed in cities before. That's not a. That's there is a pro.
There is protocol, yes, but it's been wild, you know. Rusty would be the word I'd put on it.
Right. Give me your names Give me your names again, and gets
I'll
all
go
your
through
names,
them
and
again.
He writes it down and like he puts his spear like kind of like in the crook of his shoulder, and he writes them all down in like a little like hand parchment. Mix that up. All right. Well, I recognize that one. Kind.
Somewhat. Mildly.
He's mostly there. I recognize him. He's a local a local pickpocket. Normally they don't do. Yeah, a couple of that's
Well, they had a leader, and I point at the decapitated corpse. He seemed to be in
don't
charge
recognize
of everything.
him.
Yeah, he
yeah.
didn't. Yeah, sorry. Didn't really think too far ahead on that one, did we? Nah, apologize. But he
Very
seemed to be
clean wound.
Yeah. He might have something on him. I don't know.
Right, Razzo.
Poor kid. I see the kid just through the mouth, kid.
Just goes-
Breathe through the mouth. Breathe through
starts
the
going.
mouth.
He starts looking through the body, just like goes through there. All right.
He's a bit green behind
I've
the
got
ears,
you.
isn't he?
He's new.
Yeah, I can tell.
Yeah. We'll get him through this.
I remember being
I've
in his
got your.
position. Wasn't very
I've
fun.
got your names. Where are you staying? The Red Rogue.
Yes.
Are you going to be there for a while?
We'll be there for at least another 2 weeks until our equipment arrives.
There's a possibility we may have more questions for you, though. It looks fairly open and shut now that I look at it.
Three of them
right.
came from that direction. 2 of them came from that direction. Pretty easy to
Let's
figure.
standard shakedown, trying to get your pocket money.
Our pocket money is very important to us, as you can see.
Yeah. Indeed.
I am sorry
Okay.
for the mess. It's not easy to clean this up. It's going to
We
suck.
we heard a large creature here as well. Was that you?
That was me.
That was you. Make
I
a
would
deception check.
demonstrate, but I'm all out, I'm afraid.
Her throat is quite sore right now.
Make a deception check.
You could have blamed the dead spellcaster.
He's not gonna say anything.
I mean, either way, that would be a lie, so you're still making the same
One
thing.
of them looks like they've been eaten, so...
That's true. It's kind of a very good
True.
background.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
nice.
Very nice.
Well, I'll just roll to see, though it's not likely. Yeah, that's a 2. So,
That's a 2.
all right. Well, keep that to a minimum inside the walls. There are some ordinances about destructive spell casting within the walls, outside of predetermined areas. So keep that in mind.
Of course. I
It won't happen
apologise.
again.
I hope so.
What was your name, sir?
Oh, I am. No, that works. I'm Senior Guardsman Odo.
Odo.
Odo, like from Deep Space Nine.
Odo.
Like from the Constable Odo from Deep Space. That's the first thing that came. I got the name list here. That's the first thing that popped out to me. Senior Guardsman Odo.
Mage, if you're gonna like fiddle with your mic, please mute yourself. I can hear you fiddling with your mic.
Oh, sorry. It's yeah.
Thank you.
We'll clean up here. Try and keep this to a minimum while you enjoy Paramin.
Lovely city, by the way.
Thank
Usually.
you. Well, though I guess
It's not the first
markedly-
time I've been
markedly now less crime-ridden, at least
Well,
as
this is going to even sound even more weird considering what I've said earlier, but I was a guard in Al Hut for several years, so I get it.
Well,
It's not easy.
You lot can continue on your day. Try and not have this happen again.
If you need any medical attention, I would be willing to provide free of charge. I'm Tarek.
We didn't fight them. You did.
If you need anything in the future, I'm here for 2 weeks anyway.
Well, we have healers on the force, but thank you. We'll keep that in mind. Go about your day, citizen.
I'll give him a.
He's just like standing in the center.
It's
of
like this is weird. I'm not used to
this thing.
this.
And just there's a half a person that's got bite marks on them, just like up against a wall, just like this.
And then there's the other half of a person, which
There's
Justinian is
another
like.
half. There's a bisected person with that got hit by cleave. Ustenia's axe is still dripping blood.
Yeah. I'm like, you may want to dry that off.
Was Ustenia just slowly like
It
ragging like with a rag?
Cleve drinks blood. Cleve loves blood of its enemies.
Cleve needs it.
While that's happening, the other half of the party, though one of them is unknown to the other two, or I guess, well, only one of them is actually known because the other one's not a part of the party. So Sala and Isaac are walking back to the inn, just like side by side. She hasn't really said anything.
That contraption you
It's best if you forget it.
is that common where you're from?
It's best if you forget it.
Hard to forget, but okay.
Not supposed to know about that.
So do you just press a button or something, or like what sounds?
Make a persuasion check. Persuasion check.
Oh.
Oof. How
Isaac,
very
all you had-
Isaac. For those of you
Isaac,
at
all-
home, one.
Natural one. Natural
Isaac,
one.
all you had to beat was the 6.
Well, I got a 5.
She doesn't know. Actually, hold on one second. I do need to check because she does have a modifier because she is not hostile towards this.
Wait a second. Would favored by the gods apply to that, or is that for saves only? I know it's probably not what you want to use it on, but
I mean, I've got nothing else to do it on today. I think it's attacks and
saves.
Yeah, actually, no, it's not. I think it's attacks and saves, not ability checks, and that's the thing that I'm always like, damn it.
God damn it!
How about the gods? Saving throw, or saving throw or attack roll, not abilities. I could force a reroll on my on her, but
Yeah, you could.
there's no
she
point.
rolled-
I got a 1.
Oh, that's not an automatic fail though.
No,
it's not an
very
automatic fail. You
true,
got a
but
5, and she has a -1 to this.
Statistically, she has to roll a 1, 2, or 3, 4, or 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5.
Yep.
Which is
She rolled a 7.
It's No, because knowing you, you're just natural 20 as soon as I force you to reroll.
I mean, I can roll it in the open on here if you want me to.
I'm not gonna push. I'm not gonna push.
You've got a
There's no-
1 in 4 chance of getting what you need.
Fine, I'll force her to reroll.
Okay, forced to re-roll. I'll put in the -1 here. -1. And I
Just
will
want to
roll
point
it.
out, I would never take a 25% shot.
He was just pointing out the odds, not.
That was not in the open.
Oh,
I can see it. I can see it.
I can't.
can you?
You,
Yeah.
you can't see the die, you can see the result.
Yeah, the result
Well,
is
it's-
there, but I saw a shadow dice.
It's a
but I
10.
also-
Yeah, it's a 10 that it resulted in because she rolled an 11 -1.
See? That's what I said. You know, you only had 25 and I would never take a 25% shot.
Says the guy who shot with disadvantage into smoke and still hit it.
1 and 4. Yeah.
Yeah, but that wasn't like a
That's
25%
Rivallon.
shot. That
That's
was
Rivallon,
just-
not rival.
Yeah.
Oh, well, true.
Rivallon is like
Rivallon's
the guy's
like
going
every
cover
shot.
is completely obscure. from
Rivallon is the
sight.
epitome of every shot you don't take is a failure.
Exactly. You know, he was behind full cover, was obscured, so he had like ridiculous modifiers to miss and everything, and all Rivallon says is challenge accepted.
Well, it was the opposite of an XCOM shot. It was
really was.
beautiful.
That's true.
Didn't
It
you
was
roll
like
two
I
natural
don't need to be
20s?
right next to him to get like a
Well, the opposite of an
60%.
XCOM shot would be Rivallon
Hitting on a
pointing the
5% chance.
Well, no, it would be Rivallon pointing the opposite direction of the target, firing the arrow, and you just see the arrow go straight back that way as a homing missile.
Yeah, that's
Just
true.
hitting.
Having played on
That'd
the
be the opposite.
XCOM, you
Yeah.
right.
Because
You right.
the epitome of an XCOM shot is the barrel's in the sectoid's head, and you miss. Just
Yeah, barrel is actually like clipping through the guy's skull.
Well,
and
the
it just
epitome
goes
would be
through-
you miss, the gun hits the rookie in the face, and the rookie breaks as like loses his nerves.
Yep.
But she smiles a little bit. It's a weapon. That you should forget about.
Rivallon is still in stealth, and he just walks by past the license and goes, "Even I took the hint off that."
Well, actually, hold on.
As the party member with the lowest natural perception.
Walks. No, he walks past, and then you go to look at him. He's gone.
Christ,
Salah would have
compared
seen
to
him,
every,
No.
compared to
She's not
everyone
paying
here,
attention.
Isaac is
That's true.
horribly mundane, isn't he?
that's that's the most English way of describing a character I've ever heard. It's just, I'm terribly mundane.
How much more Kent could you be?
How can you be mundane? You're an Asimar. You're quite literally an angel.
Part angel, excuse you.
You're part angel.
Yeah, and?
Yeah, and
You're a part
That's
angel
just-
inquisitor who has the worst perception in the entire freaking group.
Which is funny, might I say.
Worst quiz ever.
And every stat that he's good at is beaten by another member of the party.
Yeah.
Not charisma, I don't think.
though as you're walking, Isaac,
think it's
as you're
medium.
walking,
Meh.
she does say, though I do need to stop for a minute because if I don't finish this, it's somewhat dangerous.
Okay. That's fine.
Kind of steers towards a back alley, like off to the side. A back alley, then you get ambushed again. Drop your weapons.
Round two, here we go.
Isaac's like,
I've still got all
It's
my
like a
level
Final
3
Fantasy
spell
X
slots.
like random encounter. You just
Isaac just Henry Cavill cocks his arms.
Isaac wishes.
Yeah. Isaac,
God, Isaac
you
wishes.
do see her. You do see her pick the weapon out of the satchel again, and she's kind of keeping it away from the line of sight of the outer bank. And you can see it is partial, like it is not finished. When she was told to put it away, the ramrod is still inside the barrel, and the mechanism still at half cock. Takes that out, puts it back, puts the ramrod back. But you do see And I'm going to point this out. This is going to be somewhat meta, but you know about a musket lock. You know what they look like. So I can tell you, it doesn't look like that.
Okay.
When you see it, it's instead of having a flint, it has a little needle on the end of the lock mechanism.
Okay. Yeah.
And it looks red hot.
Oh. Interesting.
So like a heat metal enchantment or something on the very, very tiny tip of a needle. But you can see her goes off the half cock and onto a not into, like, it looks like it goes into a hole normally into the barrel where it would touch off the powder charge. But instead she flicks open a mechanism that closes the hole the needle goes into, and the ever burning or the ever heated metal needle just kind of rests against that.
Nice.
And that's, so you see that, you can see why she might have wanted to finish the procedure, because there was just a heated metal needle just in the open without the cover on. She finished that, and then puts it back. Now we can go. And now you should forget about everything you've seen, please.
Okay.
These are not the firearms you were looking for.
Rivallon just skirts around the back again. Don't be stupid.
You're just jealous I'm getting time with your girlfriend alone.
Oh,
I can understand you.
I know. I'm just trying to tease.
I've given up.
Also, I can see you. She did roll fairly high on her perception.
She's just following him.
But yeah, I guess we return to the Red Rogue Inn, and we'll wait for the others in the bar.
You enter the Red Rogue and take up a table. And I'd say, unless there's anything else the other three individuals of the party would like to do during your walk or back after you're let go by the guards.
No, go get some lunch and then go out again.
Yeah.
You arrive fairly quickly after the initial group gets there, probably within 10 minutes. So there is they're at a table and you see them.
Not me. I didn't go in.
Oh, not
Okay.
not you. Sala can still see you.
can't.
Sala's
so
just
often-
following
there.
me.
every so often she just.
She can't see me. I guarantee you, she can't see me. Unless she can see through a brick wall, she can't see me. I'm across the city now.
Oh, you didn't follow them all. Well, you kept showing up, so you broke off at that
I
point.
made sure they got back to the tavern. That was all I was doing.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
I have seen Isaac trying to be stealthy, and it's disgraceful.
Yeah, that's right. You're right. Yeah.
It's not the
All right.
worst in the party, though.
No, it's not.
You fell over a fence!
That one time! That one time.
And if it wasn't for me,
But
you'd have
after-
fallen over on the way back as well.
Well,
Where-
mean,
where do you
if we're
get-
talking about single situations where things happen, can we talk about the time that Rivallon couldn't hit a single shot in that fight? Does anyone
Yes,
remember
and
that
I'm
one?
quite happy to admit that. He then went to work on his bow and his arrows because he was obviously hadn't spent enough time on maintenance.
So where are you? Where are you going after you?
We get lunch because we're all hungry.
No. Where is Rivallon going after you break off?
Arrows.
Oh, so you're going to that shop that you saw previously? Okay. We'll do that just because that is a singular individual's thing. So let me just get to the damn shop.
You can take care of everyone else first. I don't care.
Well, no, we'll do the single person first because it'll quicker if I can get to the damn page where it's on here. I need to get two binders. Nope, it's Tarkova. Come on.
Or you can get today's sponsor.
Audible.
Nope, that's you.
Oh, I
Teshin.
thought we were
trying-
doing Shadow Legends.
Oh yeah.
Well, no, what's the other one? World of Tanks. World of Warships.
Oh, one of the warships at the moment, isn't it? Yeah.
War Thunder. That's the other one they do.
No, they don't do sponsorships that much, except for like Russian Badger and like a couple of people.
Yeah.
Skillshare
Would
be
that have
cool,
already done-
guys.
I'd like
That have
Skillshare.
done World of
I'd like
Skill,
Skillshare.
yeah, Skillshare. Yeah, Skillshare.
I'd
that's
like
another one.
D&D.
Squarespace.
World
Squarespace.
Courses Plus.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking. Three Courses Plus.
Skillshare. Squarespace.
Okay.
If you'd like to know more about the history of gunpowder musket weapon,
I'm doing this great course on the Great Courses Plus.
If you would like to know more about being
so-
assholes to your GM.
What's that one? Masterclass.
That's
Oh
good.
yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'd like to do masterclass because that looks absolutely brilliant. That does.
Huh. I'm doing a course today in how to piss off tabletop role players.
You're
I'm
succeeding.
actually using
Surprising.
some of the skills in the piss off your DM section, and I think you can tell from the way the DM is being very quiet and very studious that it's actually
was
starting
checking-
to work.
And
I
if
was
you
checking-
run
See.
as well. It's
So, you go back to the magic shop.
Yeah.
Do you remember the name of the magic shop?
No, because you never gave me the name.
Is that right? Did I not give you a name?
No, you just said I know. I realised that place might do what I'm looking for, and I remembered the location.
Right, it doesn't have a name.
And
on
it was shuttered up, so we couldn't see the name.
So I would just like to go back to my spring-loaded finger that I was using earlier on. It was just like it just keeps on working, you know. It just won't go stop down.
It's a needle fire finger. You can't.
You can
Needle
learn
fire.
about that skill and more. And
Also,
Please
Also
let
sign
me
up today.
voice
You can sign up
advert
today
work.
at Great Courses Plus /
Can everybody hear can everybody hear the communal cabin fever that's starting to set in
Yes.
on all of us? That
Well, if
if
you
we're
do
starting
sign
to
up-
go insane.
yes.
from
But if you
being
do
taught
sign
so
up for
much.
Skillshare Plus, you also get
We're
a
not
lesson
getting
in-
sponsored.
You also get a free lesson in
We're not good enough to be sponsored.
I am going
They
to start
don't care.
working to try and find us a freaking sponsor now.
You
If
do
anyone
also
out
get a
there
free
wants to
lesson in.
sponsor,
We can
in
do it. We can do it. I don't give a shit what you do. I mean, kind of, actually, but give us something. Give us something to
But
hawk
if you
on
do
this.
sign up today, remember you do get a free you get a free Uteshian bowling lesson.
Just be prepared. Just be prepared. If you do sponsor us, that we will make it a joke.
Yes.
Sam,
Yeah,
I mean,
Sam Reed
isn't
will
that
shit
Russian
out
Badger's like
this
entire
Sam.
fucking thing? His whole thing is just make jokes of everything. So
So, so Rivallon, you head back to where you saw the magic shop.
Yeah.
So that little building at the dead end of a street in a dark corner is no longer.
It's no longer
Shut her.
there.
It's no longer. That'd be some mindfuck.
It's like Willy
but-
Wonka's dad's house in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, when he finds out his son wants to make chocolate bars. Willy Wonka comes back one day and the entire building has gone. That's an obscure reference that only a few people are gonna get.
I know it.
Yeah, I didn't get it at all.
No, I
So-
ain't got a clue.
do you
But
have
no,
an
you
appointment?
you see it. It's no longer shuttered. But its iconography is still there. You can recognize it is at least somewhat an art. Like it looks like it deals somewhat in the arcane.
Mhm.
Do you go in?
Yes.
Okay.
Otherwise, there was absolutely no fucking point coming in.
You enter and die. No.
make a new character.
No, I would just say roll 3d6. Okay, roll it again. Okay, roll it again. You make a whole new character. That's the best thing I've ever seen on one of those like reposter like text box things. Is like one of my characters like went in and got hit by a trap, and then the GM just said, "Okay, roll 3d6." I rolled it. Goes, "Okay," writes it down. Does that 3 more times. He's just like midway through rolling again. He goes, "I'm rolling a new character." Just best way of doing that. no, you enter into the building. It's a very nondescript, like little 2-story, like hole, like little hole in the wall kind of building.
Yeah.
But when you enter, it is a brightly lit interior, and you see like a couple of odds and ends on some shelves behind like a countertop. And you see a not bored looking, but definitely not currently actively doing anything. Dwarvish woman, very, very old dwarvish woman. Just like sitting in a chair, leaning against the counter. And when you enter, she kind of perks up a little bit. Hello, can I help you?
I'm hoping so.
What do you need?
I need specialist arrows.
Specialist. What are you looking for exactly?
I'm looking for arrows that will inflict damage based on
Of an
different
arcane
elements.
nature? Elemental nature?
Elemental, arcane. I'm pretty much open, but I want a variety of different arrows so that I can do damage to a variety of different creatures. I can always try and find their weakness.
That is something I can do. I'm an individual. People commission me to make things. So it would... I don't have any on hand.
Right.
All I have on hand is what other individuals didn't pay for.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're looking for something like that... Let's see... How strong would you like them? Would you like a... Are you specifically, out of character, are you looking for... Like, I could do a couple of different things. Are you looking for just standard +1 arrows?
Alright.
Are you looking for like hold on a second. Are you looking for so you're looking for like +1 arrows? Are you looking for a specialist arrow that does like it'll do normal like the normal damage amount, but elemental based? Like which one are you looking for more? Or are you looking for like that and a +1?
Well,
because they'll each cost different amounts. Like
we kind of went over this, didn't we?
Yeah. So you was thinking maybe some elemental ones, and then maybe just sort of some +1s, because obviously you don't know what you're going to be. Because if you get an element and then that
element is like, say I get one that deals fire damage, and then Roach decides we're going inside a volcano, that's going to be completely useless.
To be fair, I haven't been telling you guys where to fucking go for a while. You just been kind of figuring out where you want to go.
You can
I've been building around
any time you want, and
I've been putting tracks out in front of this train for about 6 months. So.
Yeah, so it's kind of like looking for a variety.
Like a mix. So a mix of those.
Yeah.
Three.
There's one I really would like, is kind of like one that does the explosive damage.
But that would be okay.
So AoE fire, essentially.
Like an AoE fire one. That would be very expensive compared to the other ones. Let's go.
Oh my god, I'm getting triggers of EVE Online now. It's like, what next? Are you going to ask for an EM arrow? Thermal arrow? Kinetic arrow?
Yeah, that's me right now inside my head. I'm just like, ooh, I could definitely make some missiles with an EM warhead for my patrol ships inside of Aurora 4X. That'd be great.
Basically, what Rivallon is looking for is like
Mikey, that's exactly right.
It's looking for a roll-up thing that you can
You
just
guys aren't
unroll
predictable
and
at
go.
fucking all. I don't know where the fuck you're going. If this is what you're looking for,
Shrapnel arrows. My god, yeah, that's a great
Yes!
that is a great idea. Just
That is a
just
great
nail
idea.
bombs. Just
Grenade
just
to the
a
end of your arrow.
fucking pipe bomb on an arrow.
Yep.
Yeah.
is there such thing acid
Let her not
as
for-
grenades.
I mean-
Yeah, no, there's a fire. There's an alchemist fire, which is like an AOE fire, which is kind of a grenade. You could
Yeah.
also, you could like, if you wanted to tinker around with it, you could like get some alchemist fire and then make an enclosure of iron around it or something like that, and
Most have
say that
got
gives you like.
alchemy.
Yeah,
Most
I mean,
places
anywhere
have
that has
alchemy.
gunpowder would also have grenadiers with basic black powder grenades.
Yeah. Well, an alchemist fire too is an explode. It is a combustible liquid, so you put that under pressure. You could also make a liquid based.
You can make
grenade.
napalm, is what you're saying. You can make napalm.
Yeah, like
You can
the
make a
fire
napalm grenade,
throwers.
yeah, easily enough. But
You
if you're
find the
looking
right
for
chemicals and a thing, you make white phosphorus. Just
yeah, if you're looking for an arcane arrow, I can make a simple version of that plus
Mhm.
one. For maybe 150 per. We could work out a discount
Mhm.
for a bulk order, if that would be of your liking.
Okay, so that's for the arcane arrows.
That'd be a plus one arrow, essentially.
Yeah.
Jesus, yeah, plus a
What
plus one
about
arcane
the
arrow.
Other arrows.
Those are special, and elemental base means I have to imbue them with not only the arcane enchantment, but also an essence of whatever you're trying to implement.
Mhm.
Fire, frost, poison, acid. $200 per.
Rivallon looks
If you're
at his
looking for
wallet.
anything special on top of that, would incur further cost.
Of course.
But I can make these in substantial amounts, though it will take time.
Mhm.
The enchantments, they are time consuming, though they are not unique. They are meant to be produced in amounts, so I can make them in steps to cut down on time. What are you looking for in terms of quantities and the actual order?
I'm just looking at prices right now.
Well, I've given you the prices. That
I
is,
agree.
but that is half upon order, half
And
upon
half on
completion.
delivery.
And again, the price may be negotiable depending on the amount.
We're looking probably, roughly speaking, around 10 of each.
10 of each. 1,500 for the arcane arrows.
Mhm.
2,000, 4,000 for both. And it depends on the elements you're specifically looking for. Are you looking for fire and frost?
Fire, frost, maybe an acid.
The acid is. I could make a simpler version of acid arrows that would not have an arcane aspect to them. They would be more mechanical.
If we
in
were to
nature.
take the arcane aspect out of the elemental arrows, what would that do? To
I
the
can only
price?
do that with certain. The acid by itself, they can be coated in a dried acid mixture that
Oh,
upon
okay.
contact with the moisture of an individual's blood would activate the acid.
Is that useful just one turn, or like once?
It would be
or-
a single-use item, unfortunately. The arcaneness makes them unbreakable, so they would be reusable.
So they would still
ad
be
nauseam.
useful as normal arrows.
The acid arrows, if they were non-arcane based, if they
Yeah.
were using the mechanical aspect, the alchemy that I know, they would be essentially they would burn through themselves as well as the target, unfortunately.
Yes.
But they would be cheaper because it is a mundane solution.
Okay. Would the acid be able to be reapplied later?
It's a very complex process. You must refine the acid to a dry state so it is non-reactive, and then apply it, and then so it is so that when moisture contacts it, it becomes usable. It would take special processing to store. You would need to have covers over the arrowheads that are airtight to stop any moisture, etc. It is temperamental.
So that's not a no.
It would be exceedingly difficult for you to do it, most likely. You would need. I can't. It's not a pliable. It's not a paste. It is a powder that is applied. It is not a paste. It is a powder that is applied upon a mixture of resin on the arrowhead that then reacts to moisture, notably a target's blood. So I'm not sure how that would be applicable in the field, as it were.
Okay. So, of all those, the acid arrows are the cheapest.
Yes, I could
the
make them
elemental
for about
arrows-
75 per.
Right. The elemental arrows are the most difficult and most expensive.
200, yes. And though time would be similar,
Right.
inside it would be similar in process.
The
And
elemental ones are reusable indefinitely and unbreakable. So
Yeah.
Yes. So with the same with the plus ones.
Yeah, and the
as well.
arcane arrows, the +1 arcane arrows are also reusable.
I just want to point
Yes.
out this entire conversation has been Geneva Convention, more like Geneva Suggestion.
and for my
I
bonus
can
action,
tell
I'd
you,
like to
miss, I've
ignore the
never heard of
Geneva
I've
Yeah.
never heard of a kingdom called Geneva.
And for my bonus action, I'd like to forget about the Geneva Convention for a moment.
I mean, you
sorry,
literally mauled
that's a
man to
free
death as a
action?
T-Rex. So yeah.
Okay, so the acid arrows will be 75 gold each. The
Yes.
elemental arrows
Spec-
would be 200 gold each, and the
Yes.
straightforward arcane arrows would be 100.
150.
150.
150, okay. But if there was a bulk order, there would be some
bulk
negotiation on
order-
price.
Yes, a bulk order. I could work out a 10-15% discount on them.
Fair enough. Well, I appreciate your time. I can fairly make sure that you are, or say that you will be getting a sale.
I didn't doubt it as soon as you walked in.
But I will have to come back a little bit later.
I will be right here.
Thank you very
Mustard
much.
gas arrows.
I was surprised you didn't. I was surprised you guys didn't go with a poison cloud or something like that as like an idea.
I mean, it's a good idea, but still.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it would be something that would probably be expensive because you would need to figure out a way of getting aerosolized poison and then kind of like get it into the arrow.
And it
so
would
that
be
cracks.
one-use arrows again.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Like yeah, most of that stuff. Like, well, that's the thing. If you got like an AOE explosive arrow, it's
Yeah.
not gonna be a.
It's a one-time use thing.
It'd be a
like-
one-time use.
Goes poof.
yeah,
the
the arrow
arrow
explodes. You know, that's the whole
Yeah.
point here.
It's like trying to reuse a
elementals,
nuclear warhead.
the elementals,
the
you can
elementals-
use again and again.
The thing about the elementals, though, is specifically they are not +1. They just replace the piercing damage
Yeah.
of the arrow with whatever elemental damage
Fire,
you're
ice,
using.
acid. Well, acid, obviously.
But if you've got
Ass.
someone
ass,
who's
ass damage.
if you've got someone who's weak against fire, then they're going to do extra damage,
Yeah.
obviously.
Double damage, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the acid could also be used like.
Could you
in
get
utility.
necrotic and radiant on those?
Psychic arrow.
Those
Maybe.
wouldn't be elemental, so if you wanted to do something like that, it would probably be more expensive because it'd be
Yeah.
a complex to imbue
Yeah,
that
that's
kind like to imbue like radiant or necrotic or something like that. It'd be a complex thing. You'd have to.
They're like
to do.
psychic, bruh. You crazy? Not even I could break Geneva Convention that hard.
You could probably
Right.
do. You could probably do like a force one, but that would have to
Yeah.
be at minimum the equivalent of a +2 arrow cost. Would be like force arrow, and that would do. But it would be a reusable force, basically attack. It'd just be, I'm
Isn't-
assuming it'd be like a concussive blast as soon as it hits you.
That's essentially Eldritch Blast.
Yeah.
yeah.
Pew.
Eldritch
Yeah.
Blast and an
Well,
arrow.
it's expensive. It's expensive to get though, because a +2 arrow I think is like I don't know what we got it to. It was like 2,000 or it was like 1,000 gold pieces or something like that. It was
Something like that, yeah.
it was an order of magnitude more expensive than the +1.
Eldritch Blast, the arrow.
Yeah.
Look, all I'm
But,
going to say is we need a job that pays well.
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
Rivallon wants his thing. I have a question, just
Rivallon
DM,
would like his toys, please.
because I've got a map. Is there
That
an
and the,
amphitheater or something in town?
That and the bride price for his wonderful woman is quite high.
True. Yeah.
Not a chance in hell. Why is
The,
no one listening to me when I say I'm done with her?
Because
Yeah.
you spent
Yeah, of
a month chase
Yeah,
after her.
and she's basically just kept blowing me back constantly, so sod her.
To be fair, every time
If
you
she
tried,
can't
she
see-
couldn't understand your language.
If she can't see what a wonderful elf is standing in front of her, then it's her own damn fault.
Okay.
To answer your question, Midge, or Isaac, an arena, you don't have a map wouldn't necessarily show that. Also, it's if what you've like if you ask Sesh, that kind of stuff's not necessarily legal.
That's not above board, you see.
Usually in the trade cities. Trade cities are fairly harsh when it comes to laws and
We'll take your
punishments
fingers for stealing
things.
shit, bruh.
Yeah.
Before I leave, I just want to ask the lady behind the desk, can we do an anthrax arrow?
Is it just rubbing an arrow on the back of a donkey?
Specifically for hunting cows.
Can we get a smallpox arrow?
Yeah.
Plague arrows. Oh my
No,
god.
no, forget the plague. Spanish flu.
Can we get a
No,
COVID-19
no,
arrow?
No! No!
No!
Can we get a
Mikey, you
Rona?
can't
Can we get a
say
Rona
that.
arrow?
You can't
Can
say
we-
that.
You
Can
can't
we get
say
a-
that!
You
That's
can't say
fun.
that.
So we
Friggin'
can say
video gone
everything
now.
else except for that. All right,
Yes!
fucked. Okay.
It doesn't have to make sense, Mikey. It's YouTube. It's Twitch.
True.
They don't
yeah.
care.
That's true. Yeah, fair enough.
Even though YouTube has had advertisements literally every video that just says help stop the spread of.
Of the shit that's going on right now.
Yeah. But no, you don't really see that. But lady waves to you as you leave Rivallon, with the knowledge of what you may have to, like, with the knowledge of the prices and how of the arrows you're looking to commission off of her.
Which this translates to everybody. Rivallon needs all the money.
Nah. I see directly after you leave, she's just like, am I selling this shit to a war criminal?
And as I'm walking
gotten
out, I go,
weirder.
yes!
She's
Passive
gotten
perception
weirder,
isn't that high, bruh.
Commissions, weirder commissions before from.
Fair enough. People in the city are weird. We get it.
I've only got 2,800. I need more money.
Only. Okay.
Only. Well, I mean,
Alright.
that'd get you half up front, and then you'd have like a week or two before the second half be due.
Yeah, I'm assuming I'm going to have another 2,800 by then.
That's a lot of assumptions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's 2,800
You
GP
wanna-
worth of assumptions.
To be
You
fair,
want-
you guys haven't taken a job in a while.
Yeah.
I mean, we
Well,
tried
it's
to find a
in-
job board, but we couldn't find one.
Yeah, it's not really how this society works.
Yeah, we know. The
How
gods
the
told
society
us.
works? How I would know somewhat how trade cities work when it comes to that kind of jobs.
They're very regimented. There's not a lot of like if you're inside the walls or you're near the walls, because the walls is kind of like an abstract saying, because there's farmlands and stuff outside of the walls. But if you're outside of the influence, if you're inside the influence of the city and its council, protection isn't necessarily required, or it's not. It sometimes is, because as a guard you would know that people steal sometimes, and people like hoodwink or ambush
People are assholes.
like some goods or things like that, or steal. But the governments don't necessarily want people to know that, so job boards would indicate that that it's something you would need, or that people would require
To the
protection,
council!
which they wouldn't necessarily want to be public. It's kind of like a North Korea thing where like we don't
Like,
nobody's sick here, which obviously isn't true. You know, or yeah, Kim Jong-un is definitely alive right now, but you know, who knows?
But no. All right.
Who knows? By the way, when that came out, I was more sad for the surgeon that had to work on him. Because if anybody doesn't know, a report came out that he had heart surgery and that he's in a coma right now.
Oh,
Now, whether or not that's true,
That is
nobody
literally
knows.
the video of the like Japanese surgeon talking about how he had surgery.
That's the first thing. Yeah, that was
surgery on him. Yep.
my secret. I good surgeon. Number one.
Yep. I kill him on purpose.
Although my hand is cut, you're not supposed to hold this end.
But that's not. So basically, it's kind of like it's a measure to keep people from realizing that there is a little bit of an underground in the city. So it's more of a. You'd have to find somebody to work for, or you'd have to like do something. You'd have to kind of like hit the streets, get some paper applications and fill them out. Get
some old resumes and
some boomer advice for getting a job, that kind of stuff.
Goddamn boomers! These goddamn boomers.
Hit that pavement.
Damn it.
So that's kind of the way the culture works around here. And it's very, and even then, not a lot of people utilize it because it's also frowned upon societally to have your your transport of goods from like the dock to your shop to be guarded. Because that would insult the guard force, because that means you don't think they're good enough, even if they're not good enough, kind of a thing. And you could probably
Sesh likes to think she was a pretty good.
Much do for a living.
Yeah, as much as Sesh likes to believe she was a pretty good guard, she knows there was a few who were like, "Yeah, you probably shouldn't do this job."
Yeah, and also there's plenty of guards that take bribes and stuff like that. It's not perfect.
Corruption is a thing.
Corruption is definitely a thing.
We'll go talk to the city council then. Well, you guys will. I probably won't. But
Direct to the city council.
It's like we want to talk to the city
Heresy is
council
everywhere,
about
you
getting
just have
some
to look for
gerbs.
Oh God, yes. Well, we've heard that there is a heretic in town. Oh shit.
Isaac is just like, oh fuck.
He's just in.
I'm not high enough level to cast teleportation.
Is this what you're looking for? It's a pretty star. It's such a pretty star.
We just pick up Isaac by the scruff of the neck.
What's the reward?
So how much are you offering for this heretic exactly?
Right, guys, can you at
please
least
note-
wait until my next level, because then I'll be able to bamf out. But
Yeah, just boop, teleport. He's gone.
Please note that we
but
won't
you-
take less than 20 grand each.
But while this is
Make it
going
40.
on,
Make it 40. Make it 40.
while all that was going on with Rivallon, and you're all having yourself dinner and talking, figuring out what you want to do for your for the still probably 2 weeks before your stuff actually gets to the city. Sala, with her hour of communication left, doesn't have anything and just says, "I'm going to be leaving."
Did you manage to
Today.
organise passage?
I did.
Good.
I did.
Wonderful.
I wanted to. That's why I came to where I thought you would be. Or I tracked you down to say goodbye. It's not too long before I'm going to be heading out. I already brought my item, what little I have, to the boat. And Rivallon isn't here.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I wanted to say a few things. I'll try and find.
I'll
him.
forward it.
I'll try and find.
I have a good idea where he might have gone.
Hold on. Sending. Rivallon, get the fuck back to the inn. The Sala's leaving tonight.
The Sala's leaving tonight.
Or
It's
Shala
just
wants to
a cheeky rom-com where like he's running around the town trying to figure out where she is.
Where's
Finds her on the
airship?
docks.
Where's the airship?
At the skyship,
No!
as he gets
Plowing through a
tackled by the
baggage cart.
as he gets tackled by the magical TSA.
No. He's told them this is for love and they're all for it. They've seen it
Randomly,
before.
all
Does
these
that totally
security
work?
people Clapping.
Whereas an NPC that looks strangely like Mr. Bean distracts them.
Yep. No, that's Isaac.
I think we had
Isaac's
this
doing that.
conversation last week.
We did have
This
this
is
conversation
Yeah.
last week.
conversation.
No, we did exact conversation. We have
We're
a
going
very
there.
limited supply of jokes.
And that's
Yeah,
why
we're
we need a
going crazy.
sponsor. Because a sponsor would give us something else to talk about, like your product.
Insert sponsor here.
Right here. Inside it,
Like
right
the
here.
strategic free-to-play gameplay of World of Warships.
Or maybe you want to learn a new skill with Skillshare.
Yeah, just pre-record.
Play some
All
Raid
of
Shadow
them.
Legends, you fuck.
Raid Shadow Leg End.
Do you need somewhere to organize your D&D notes? Try World Anvil.
To be fair, that's probably the only one.
Do
we
you
might
want
get.
to know how
If
to
we
annoy
really
the hell
wanted to
out of your
try for
DM? Join us on this great where we use this product
If
to
we could-
annoy
Are you
Brooks
worried?
to death.
Are you
Yeah.
worried that
Are there?
Are you worried that your DM is going to track down where you live using your IP address after you've annoyed him for the 500th time?
Try Tunnel Bear.
NordVPN protects
This
your
episode-
location.
This episode of the Sleeping Giants podcast is brought to you by the guys who rip off 40k models and freely print them.
I can have a this to that.
Ooh, way too relevant.
Godspeed, you magnificent bastards.
Godspeed. You
Anyway,
do God's work.
back to Sala, back to
You,
Sala.
you do the
Yeah.
Emperor's
Sala.
work, sir.
But I did want to say, you're not what I expected as
Thanks.
a people.
We're not normal people.
Also
You
fair.
people are funny.
That's racist, but we'll let you away with it this time.
Who are you calling you people?
You know, Mikey got the reference.
Yep.
Am I allowed to say that?
Nope.
I wanted to say though, we should try not to meet again, because if we meet again in combat, I don't bank on nostalgia or
Wasn't going to bet on it.
We
our
understand.
time together meaning much. I have a duty. I've taken an oath, and I
Oh god, she's a paladin.
plan to maintain that.
Paladin of Conquest.
I can appreciate that. But you never know. Maybe we can meet as friends outside of combat one day.
I'm afraid once I leave here, I will be. I don't believe so, but we can hope.
Never say never.
Okay, well, I wish you the best, and may you enjoy open fields and glorious victories.
And safe travels.
As long as those victories aren't against us, eh?
Says Isaac from somewhere.
I'm here.
Yeah.
She gets up, she takes her stuff, and before she leaves, a long life, and she's midway through. She looks like she's thinking about saying something, but then doesn't, and turns, starts walking out of the Red Rogue.
Just
Towards-
throw her a salute.
Peace.
If you do that, though, you're doing it's a Boy Scout.
Isaac doesn't know.
Or wait, what's the Polish salute? What was the Polish one during World War II? What was that? That's I forget what it was. I can't.
Was
Damn.
it? Was the one where it was like holding a gun to their head? Was it? Was that?
It was a
them,
two. It was
it?
2 fingers. Though. I remember it was, or was it 3 fingers? Was it like that, or was it like that? I think it was that maybe for Pol. I don't know, for the Home Guard. That's gonna annoy the crap out of me.
Listen, breaks in 15 minutes. You can figure it out then.
I can look it up then. But yeah, she leaves and melds into the crowd with her cloak. Are you actively trying to hide, Rivallon?
No.
Okay.
I'm actually trying to come back to go, yo, guys, we need to find a job.
Yo,
Well-paying job.
Gerb. We need to find some gerbs.
Well, we'll go to this. About probably 15 minutes later after that, as you're walking down like the main street, because from where you were at before, you're like, was it the Smith's Hearth? I actually forgot where the damn magic shop was. Smith's Hearth, Smith Hearth. What one is that? 3. Yeah, you're on the gallows bridge as you're walking, and basically
Feels
out of
like
nowhere.
home.
Yeah, basically out of nowhere, on your left side, Solid's there.
Hi.
She rolled very well. Find you. Hello. You weren't there when I said this, but I'm going to be leaving today.
Oh, have a nice trip. Hi, Mitch, Dad.
I wanted to say that he's mesmerized by Midge Dad.
Mitch, Dad.
Yeah. I wanted to say that it has been interesting. You're not what I expected, but I appreciate you were honest with me when I was your prisoner.
Oh, right, yeah, then. Yeah, of course.
Yes.
I remembered that.
The basis of the first time we met, yes.
Yes.
It's okay, it's been 2 months.
Yeah. I've killed since then. It was fun.
I wanted to say if we meet each other again, it's most likely going to be in combat, and I don't. Let's hope that doesn't happen. I'd rather not have to kill you.
You can try. You'll fail, but you can try.
Smirk. Either way, try and stay away from the southern coast for a few months.
Thanks for the advice.
Just drifts back, like half step, drifts back, and then kind of melts back, and she goes into the crowd, and then you don't see her again.
So, I'm staying on the southern coast.
A little while after.
See, you know.
See, you want to see her again.
No.
This time, though, in the bloody
Leave.
fields of combat.
Yes, and I'll kill her quite happily. But the simple fact is, she's saying stay away from the southern coast because obviously stuff's going to go down there. Why would they want us to stay away from the southern coast?
She likes you.
Because every
She
time
thinks you're
we
cute.
actually get involved with Zigul, we end up kicking the living crap out of whoever's serving them.
She thinks your ears are cute, that's why.
Yeah, but they itch a lot. We both kill people, so what? The simple fact
Your
is,
ears?
lots and
Okay.
lots of lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of killing on the southern coast.
I don't think there's really much on the southern coast anyway. It's like Al Hood, and that's it.
Well, then, isn't that like the perfect place to invade?
I guess so. Anyway, we should have this conversation in character, not out of character.
And
You
just, hey,
started
right there.
it.
And just right then, Rivallon shows up at the Red Rogue as you're all finishing off your meal and talking amongst yourselves.
So, she's gone then.
Yeah.
Yes. She was looking for you.
Yeah, she found me. Apparently, we should stay away from the southern coast for the next couple of months. I don't know
What do
about
you
anyone
think
else, but
that
I'm feeling
is?
very southern lately. So, should we stay around the southern coast for the next couple of months?
I mean, it's very warm in Al Hood right now.
Yeah, so sounds good. I could use some sun.
Temperatures doing wonders for my circulation. It's far better than being up in those
So,
cold
sounding
mountains.
good. I mean, we have to go down that kind of way, don't we? I'm sure that's kind of the
See,
direction.
right. That was what I was going to talk to you all about. I don't want to keep chasing. I want to find out where the next stop's going to be after the one they've just gone to.
I mean, they did. She mentioned the south coast. There's not much on the south coast aside from Al Hood and Paramin.
I also don't know about you guys, but I did blow a hunking great stack of my cash on a load of mercenaries recently.
Same,
I
though.
am all out of money.
Yeah, we need a job.
Yes.
Well,
Because
the
I
problem
want to
with
buy some new arrows.
well, you see, the big problem with like trade cities, at least the way that it worked down in Al Hood, is that you won't find a job board and you won't find people advertising for work because the council or whoever else runs this place don't want it to appear like the town guard are weak. But there are places, obviously, that are underground that will give you work, but it's very hush-hush and very no-no.
Huh.
So we need
We're
to
very
find
used-
the diviest of bars.
Well, that or
So, what do we usually do then?
Yeah,
But
pretty
the
much.
thing is, there's also the chance that we could do work for people higher up. We've just got to find them.
Could go to the council, yeah.
Yeah, but we've got to find them non-directly. We've got to. It'll be below the table, above the board, if that makes sense.
It does, yeah. I've done that kind of work before.
Stuff they haven't got the manpower to cover, but have the funds to.
Basically, they've got something going on. They don't want to put the guard on it because the guard might be put in a situation which they don't want to be in. So they'd like to hire some mercenaries to take care of the issue.
I'm gonna go over to one of the
Deputies, Rivallon. Deputies, not mercenaries.
Would you say, Midge?
I was gonna go over to one of the innkeepers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, you
But I'm a mercenary.
head up.
They'll call you deputy because that way you
I don't
don't
want to
be
be
called
the man.
mercenary.
I'm not ready to be the man.
Too
I
late.
spent
The
my
normal
life fighting
innkeeper,
against the man. I don't want to be the man.
The older elf is at the bar. You've seen him before. He runs the place. Yeah.
Excuse me, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Do any of your clientele happen to work for or are associated with the city council in any way? And if so, could you point them out to me? And I slide 3 gold pieces onto the table.
Takes it, and then a smile comes across his face. Anybody who worked in the city council came here, I'd be very surprised. They've got their personal bartenders and places to go. They don't venture outside their own little walled compounds often. I'd be surprised if they ever came anywhere else or went anywhere else in the city.
You could have just asked me that instead of wasting 3 of the few gold we have.
You wouldn't have known that. You're not from here.
Same sort of oligarchy, though.
Well, if you hear anything, would you let me know?
I will, but if I hear about somebody that works for a council member or has a seat at the council or knows somebody who sits at the council coming to my bar, it'd be the first time.
Your information is appreciated in advance, and I leave.
Sesh, Rivallon, and Rivallon, and is it Stenya? I'm looking for the top 3 or the top 2. Give me a second.
Mine's
Party sheet.
15.
Where the fuck's party sheet? Perception.
Malgrith.
It's 100% gonna be Sesh, so...
Yeah, Sesh and Mog. Both
Yes.
make a perception check.
Cool.
It's 100% not going to be Isaac.
Right.
I wasn't there. Wow. Sesh gets a natural
Oh.
20 for a 28.
I mean, I still might not see
Sesh,
them.
just
Who knows?
Sesh.
Yeah, actually,
Only
you
ever
both.
Sesh.
Yeah. Well, Mog doesn't notice anything, but Sesh, you notice something. It's been near an hour since you came into the bar after everything, and you've been talking. You notice an oddity outside. At first you didn't, but as time has gone on, a pattern's emerged from some of the people in the street. You see 2 individuals, nondescript but walking next to each other, each carrying what looks to be like a water urn. And then a few minutes later, there's a small child that walks by. And about 10 minutes later after that, you see a large gentleman walking with kind of a nice robe, and it's like on a loop.
So it's the same people.
Every 20 to 30 minutes, you see it. So it's been like 2 or 3 rounds of it, but you wouldn't normally notice it but you looked out at one point and you saw they like not looking at you directly, but like side eye, and then going back.
She
like,
it's her old guard instincts kicking in.
like you're being monitored by these individuals. but
So
it's like a
question,
loop.
Roach.
Yes.
In all the time that I've been around Ustinia and the bit of Uteshian I learned while I was in the Steppe Kingdoms, could I speak to Ustinia in Uteshian?
Give me an intelligence check, and we'll see.
Ooh, this will be interesting.
Well,
Okay.
Oh my
Yeah.
god! She was just natural 20 after natural 20.
Yeah. That's 2 in a row. Okay then.
you're fairly certain you can muster up enough.
Basically, it's how many Uteshian words do you know? Yes.
Yes.
You're not
Um,
fluent, but you've heard enough that you could.
I could
the
string
gist.
together a sentence.
You could get the gist across, like
Right.
Like you use some substitute words, but it kind of works.
Right, I'll
It's not-
substitute.
yeah.
If I have to substitute, I'll substitute for Draconic, so that way Rivallon can understand it, and Mog, because I think Mog also speaks Draconic, right?
I speak Draconic as well.
But
Most
you're
of
at
the
the bar
party
right
speaks
now,
Draconic.
aren't you?
Yeah.
This is sort of
Isaac's at
happening
the
while
bar.
Isaac's at the bar, yeah.
Yeah, he's at the bar. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is going on.
But anyway, yeah, whatever words I need to substitute in, I will. But I'll tell Ustinia that we're being monitored, and I'll try to say as much of that as I can in Uteshian, and like sort of move my head a little bit so he can see the door where the people are walking past.
You get the gist of what she's trying to say.
Okay.
Then I move my head, and you can see the people walking past. And you can see
Well,
them.
is actually make a perception check, Extenia, because they're not noticeable normally. You have to kind of you.
He
you
does have the
notice
Hawkeyes
the pattern.
thing, so he will notice more details.
He knows
That's from
details.
distance.
Distance. So make it.
Oh,
Natural 20. Natural 20. 20.
You're
All right.
equal one to in combat.
Well, that's
Alright.
what we've
Stania.
done today, so
Yeah, Ustenia, you see what she's talking about. It's all like it's during the loop, during the part of the loop where it's like the large gentleman with like a fine robe, and you catch with your eagle eye sense for a split second. You see his eyes go over to your table and then go back as he's walking down through the crowd.
I I speak in Uteshian back. It may be the guards that are watching us, keeping an eye on us.
I'm gonna
Why
say
un-
Sesh can understand that
Yeah.
kind of. You rolled a natural
Really?
20. I'm gonna let that
Why?
go for a while.
She kind of gets it. She's like, she understands like
Yeah.
guards monitoring and us, I guess. Like,
Yeah,
she
you
gets
get it. You get a bit. You've rolled a natural 20. You're not. It's not fluent, but you get a bit of it. It'd be like if you knew a little bit of German and you were able to kind of suss
And
out.
Rivallon
like,
leans
sentences
forward and
work
goes,
out.
You know, it's really annoying when you two do that. It
It's the
makes me
first time
want to
they've
kill
ever
someone.
done it.
Like
First
that
time
guy
they-
over there who's staring at us constantly. I want to kill him. Does anyone mind if I kill him?
Hold on. He
Yeah, then we
may
slip into
be-
Draconic, like, you know, because it's moderately rarer, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many of you speak Draconic.
Like
Yes.
all of us.
Yeah.
all of us.
Yeah.
Except
No.
me.
Yeah, except for Mog.
No, I don't.
Oh.
Do you not?
Oh,
I thought you did.
No, I
No,
speak.
I will tell Rivallon what's happening in Draconic then, because I know he speaks it.
That it might be a guard.
It might be a group of guards, or it might actually be people monitoring us. I don't know yet. But just keep an eye out. Essentially, is what I'm telling him.
Oh, I can't take him outside.
Nope.
Oh.
I will then turn to Mog and ask her in Dwarven if she speaks Dwarven.
I think I speak
No,
Dwarven.
I speak Orc though.
I speak Orc.
Don't speak that.
I
Oh.
I will translate for Mog.
I speak
Yeah.
Orc
I
as
s-
well.
like a
I
game of
speak-
telephone.
This
I
is turning
Orc.
into telephone really quickly.
Am I back at
No,
the table?
And infernal.
Yeah, you get back to the table. Yeah.
Infernal. Isaac's just there like, why infernal though?
What's everyone speaking a different language? Oh, is this Yaitai whispers? Yaitai whispers? Is that...
I tell Isaac what just happened in Uteshian just to annoy him, and then I say it to him in Draconic.
Right. Okay. I think it's.
Mog goes into her bag, gets out a piece of parchment and some ink, and goes, "Whatever it
Yes, I can
is,
speak to
write it in whatever."
Oh, I
I
can write in
just told
Celestial,
you
no
what was
one
going on
understands.
in Orc.
Ah, yes, you did.
So, what do you guys think? Just ignore him for now. Keep an eye on things.
Oh, that's interesting. It means I can send messages in Celestial to Mog.
Yeah, it does.
That's really cool. I've never been able to use that.
But I don't speak
Other than that
Celestial.
one time.
No,
You can
but
read it,
read
though.
Read it.
Ah,
can send it
So he
in
can just
this.
write down whatever he wants in Celestial, hand you
You
a
just
note,
have to
and
put Celestial in as in one of your things, and just know that you can't speak Celestial.
okay.
So you have to
Cool.
put it on your language list.
Okay. I can
right.
do that.
So are we gonna
Now.
just ignore this for now, or are we gonna do something about it?
I can't take another fight really right now, but I could. I just
I
wouldn't
could.
choose.
I could.
Also, we've been told to, maybe not.
Yeah,
Oh, God,
yeah,
or
yeah,
as-
yeah. I keep forgetting that whole thing. Yeah, yeah,
Or as far as you guys told me over dinner, I wasn't there. Remember?
yeah. Yeah. We have to kind of keep that down to a low.
Suppose we
Maybe.
could maybe continue this conversation in one of our rooms where people couldn't see us.
Good idea.
Should be in there.
So I say that we get up one by one, and I'm still speaking in Draconic, by the way. So if you can't understand,
I'm
we'll-
translating into Uteshian as best I can for Stydia.
I'm assuming you're getting everything across.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
just
Eventually.
whispers it out. One by one, or in smaller groups, slowly leave the table, and we'll rendezvous in my room, and we'll discuss this where they can't see us.
Does your
And
room have any
that-
windows?
I don't think it does, if I remember correctly.
Roach, does Isaac's room have windows?
Actually, none of your none of your rooms have like back windows or anything like that. You have a door and a small window for a light, because it's all, remember, it's like half it's like a U, and you're on the
Yeah.
interior view. It's like a half circle. I keep hitting my damn mic. You're like a half circle, and you're all facing the interior. It's like
Yeah.
like one of those hotels. That
Yeah,
has, like,
yeah,
a pool
like a
and
shoe
stuff
horse.
like that.
Sorry,
Yeah.
not a shoe horse, horseshoe. Hotel shape.
Horseshoe, yeah,
Yeah.
and you're on
Yeah,
the interior of the horseshoe.
We'll
so, yeah.
rendezvous in my room. I'm just
Right.
gonna get up and go to my room.
Okay,
we'll
I'll get
say-
the baby oil. Oh, is it not that kind of a party? Okay.
Kinky.
We'll say you all eventually get into Isaac's room, and we'll get back to that after this break, because we're at the break.
Yes, so this is our normal midpoint break. Join us in 5 to 10 minutes where we will be continuing this. And yeah, use this time, go get yourselves a cup of tea or whatnot, and we'll see you very soon.
Bye.
I have a plan.
Is it a cunning?
enough, yeah.
You can still be sponsored by a drink company. You just can't drink while doing the sponsorship or doing
Yeah,
the stream.
it's really weird. There's like some really
Yeah.
big yes and no's.
You can have like a
That's-
thing on the top corner of your screen that says Kraken Rum, but you can't actually have a glass of Kraken
It'll
Rum.
be
in
like
there.
that, or you can say this stream's brought to you by blankety blank, but you can't do like this stream's like originally it'd be like this stream's brought to you by blankety blank. They'd have it on the screen and then they take a drink and it's good. Can't do that because that's technically like an alcohol. That's technically an alcohol advertisement, which is
Yeah.
regulated very strictly in
Yeah.
quite a few countries, including the U.S.
True.
as well.
Yeah,
Really?
Some pretty
that's-
strict ones. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh.
because it's.
I mean,
and
it's-
that's why all that's there.
I do
mean,
keep
like-
forgetting Prohibition happened, and also you don't drink till you're 21 there. I keep forgetting that
Yeah,
whole thing.
that's the thing. It's like,
I mean, hey,
like,
prohibition's
beer
still a
legal
thing,
alcohol.
but only for marijuana here. And
Fair, yeah.
it worked just as well.
To say it didn't work.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
hey, the Americans
it's legal
invented
here
the
in
cocktail.
Illinois.
The
Illinois,
Americans
it's legal
invented the
here.
cocktail because of
what biscuits
Prohibition.
you got,
so-
rival? What biscuit you got?
Ooh, classic.
Chocolate.
I don't understand that name. I don't. Why digestive? What is that?
They are
Yes.
very good.
Yeah, it's like the whole thing. Like when cigarettes first existed, if you had asthma, you were prescribed a pack of cigarettes.
Back in the old days where cocaine was still medicine.
What's that? What's that screenshot? Is like, oh, we really grew up in the wrong century. I wish we could have gone back and been a doctor in the 1700s. Just go and just and just like, no, you got ghosts in your blood. You should do cocaine about that.
Well, no, I've seen 1890s UK. They used to sell cocaine-filled toothpaste. That looked.
Yeah. Man, this toothpaste is great.
I'm awake this morning. I am awake this morning. All right, got time to go work at the bank. Chip, chip, let's go. Pip, pip, cheerio.
What was that? What was that other? It was a Twitter post by some comedian. It was like, I really wish I grew up in the 18. Or it was like, it was the lady was going like, I kind of wish I grew up in the 1880s because I have ADD and it really pisses me off that back then the prescription would have been vibrators and cocaine.
Yeah.
All right, I know what you're. Well, fair enough. Whatever you're into, I guess.
The funny thing is, that's true.
Yep.
That used
Yeah,
to be,
no, it is.
that used to be a
Yeah,
thing.
It used to be put down to like a what was it? The whole wandering hormones or whatever it was. It's
Well,
like-
it was like female something.
female
and-
hysteria, wasn't it?
Hysteria, yeah. And it used to be the doctor would do it manually. But it happened so much that basically the doctors invented the vibrator because their hands were getting tired. Essentially, was what was happening. So that they could do it themselves at home. That was the whole reason that
I will provide you your self.
which is the funniest thing I've ever heard.
Self-medication.
Yeah, essentially. But if you've ever. Yeah. It was that. No, but by the way, if you ever seen like the original vibrator as a thing, it's like a power drill.
Man,
Some
those
people
Seriously.
do that.
Seriously, if you get a chance, not on stream, look it up. It's hilarious. It's hilarious.
Still sold in the Netherlands, probably.
Probably, yeah. And Germany.
I'm sure there's somebody that collects artisanal old, like a classic.
Can you imagine,
There's
right?
a
There's-
museum to it in the
Can-
Netherlands. Isn't
can
there?
you imagine,
There
right?
is, isn't there?
Can you imagine, right, going on a Tinder date and your date saying, "I collect antique vibrators"?
That's the moment you put on your plague doctor mask and say,
Like-
"Well then."
Well then.
I mean,
Anyway.
to be fair, some of us couldn't actually say anything to that. Midge has got a whole bunch of medieval swords, and I have multiple uniforms from the Civil War in my storage. So
No, I don't.
No, he doesn't. Turning around, looking at it. No,
you
I
have an
don't.
entire Legionary's armor set. I've seen it.
Pans camera. No, you don't.
Making sure the Yeah, no. Should we get back to it? Are we all back?
Yeah, no. Oh, I've missed talking with you guys.
Utari's just sitting here like, damn, this shit's
I don't
crazy.
talk to anybody during the week. I need this.
Man, I work every day. All I can think about is, man, it's gonna be so fun to talk to the guys about shit that's not work.
Well, most of the time, you guys
Record
are
a second podcast that Midge actually might upload.
Yeah. Yeah, Mitch, with all this free time, where's the podcast?
I've been the only person who hasn't spoken up for this free time nonsense. I've been busier than ever right now. Like,
Rivallon's just
Anyway,
like, Rival's just like, hi.
shall we
hi, how are you?"
continue?
Anyway, you're all inside of Isaac's room.
So here's my antique dildo collection. Cool.
All right,
Cool.
fair enough, Vegas.
This is good knowledge. It's
Yeah.
it's funny too because yours is the only channel that doesn't have swearing on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
And
Apart from today is the one exception.
Apparently, it's called the. Everybody can get the Black and Decker Satisfaction 400.
Oh.
I mean, hey, if it becomes, they might. I mean, let's be honest here. Most of the construction is shut down right now, so they might need to transform into an essential business, and that could be considered as.
JCB have now produced a chain operation. No, let's not go there.
So
that's a bit spicy for Twitch.
So you're all inside of Isaac's room after having found out that you were possible. After having found out that you are being watched by some force
Entity.
or some people.
Who are you calling some people?
That's racist.
Right. Okay. So, what's the play here? You suggest maybe sending Sesh to talk to them?
Yeah, I think it's a very bad idea. Listen, I could go talk to Senior Guardsman Odo and see if he has sent these people on, and if he says yes, then whatever. We just gotta
Well, he's
behave
not in
ourselves.
his regeneratory period, as a liquid form.
If he says yes, we're keeping an eye on you, then we just gotta
What about
keep our
now?
head above board. Maybe we should head outside the city then for work, because once we go outside the walls of the city, things get a little more lax.
Yes, but isn't it also a desert? I'll be more likely to get.
There's a lot of farmland out there. You can get people who need people to deal with raiders or
And
bandits
they
or
have no
anything.
money.
That's the thing. I think we're looking for
Yeah.
relatively high-paying work. This is
But it's easy
Uh,
work for us at least.
as much
My
as I
issue
don't like
is-
doing stuff for money. Generally, we need supplies. Considering what we've come up against, we definitely need supplies,
We also need to get the hell out of the city eventually.
and we
My
also need to
issue
still
is I
investigate
can't
Mog's
investigate
brother.
anything whilst I have a tail.
That's also true.
Well, if it's not Odo, I'm sure he'd have some idea about who might be keeping an eye on us. He'd know the local criminal underworld better than us. Could be the people who we dealt with friends. Maybe they're looking to hire us because of how swiftly we dealt with their friends.
Yeah, we've got some vacancies.
Some freshly cool seats here need filling.
Sesh, you didn't see anyone whilst we were fighting,
Cocaine gun. Hey, Pat.
because I think
So,
you're the only possible one that would have.
Did we just kind of just skip to everyone getting into your room, by the way?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
we're
Well,
all in the room.
I'm not. Not
Oh.
yet.
Okay.
I'm the
Alright.
last person to have got to the room, so we may have to like backtrack a bit to what I was going.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I said that at the end. I was saying everybody gets on, then we would end it off there. But yeah, what were you doing during this time?
I will approach the individual that was staring over at us.
Well, they're not standing still. It's like a you ever see Truman Show?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know
They're
that
taking
scene where he's
turns.
inside of his car and
Okay.
he's going like,
Right.
"Pop the thunder." Thing.
Is the
They're-
last person that I noticed that was watching us still within range that I could go over and approach them?
Well, they're going with the flow of the group. So by the time you go out there, they were flowing with traffic essentially. You know, the foot traffic.
Bum.
And you weren't informed of the other ones because they basically
Do I notice any other ones?
give me another perception check because it would be a different situation at this point.
22.
That's decent.
A second.
Look at you guys all rolling really well tonight, minus me. And
Me. Hi.
no, you've rolled a 22 already as well today.
And a 9.
True. And
I have only rolled a natural 1.
It's true. You haven't rolled much though. You come out into the street. It's a bit harder to get because some people are staring at you. Because you are a
Giant
foreigner
barbarian.
with a giant axe. You do notice 2 individuals walking kind of side by side. They're carrying some items, and they like the thing that catches your eye in your eagle vision is not that they're watching you, it's that they're trying to ignore you but they're still keeping an eye on you in a way, like they're doing that surreptitious kind of glance and going by trying to stay nondescript, and they are doing a fairly good job. It's just that you were on the lookout. You were alerted. You've got a yellow exclamation point above your head.
I'm gonna head over towards them.
Okay. Are you doing it like hostily, or are you just like?
Oh yeah, I'm a hustler. I'm a hustler.
So hustle, not saunter.
Yeah.
I said, are you doing hostily, not hustling?
Oh, sorry. No,
Hostile,
not like
hostile.
not like with weapon in hand. No. Just heading over towards them.
Okay. All right. They don't like cheese it or anything like that. They're not.
They're not that
They're not-
amateur.
No, they're just going on like they've got someplace they're taking these items, their goods, and they're just on their way. They see you coming, but they're not like they give you breath like away, like if you were like to pass them. They're trying to not get in your way, but they're just continuing on their day. Is what they look like.
Hey, it's nice you too. You're looking over at me. You like what you see? You need me for a job or for other things? What is it? Why you look at me? Maybe I can help you out.
You're looking for companionship?
You're looking for me to hire me or to hire me?
Okay, I'm not above anything. I need money. 50 for the night. 100 if you like it weird.
Yeah, no, he's
Extra 300 if you want me to bring the horse.
I didn't even have more.
Exactly why he needs the extra 300.
Get in here quick. The one that looks to be a little older of the two, like smiles politely and says, "I'm sorry, we don't need anything. Have a
No, not so fast, not so fast. I see you. You're looking over me. You're trying to be shy. Look like you don't notice me. You're trying to ignore me, but you keep looking over. Either you're wanting me for my skills, or you're wanting something else. Come on, what is it? Tell me.
Ostina
Def-
with the
Ostina
sly
definitely
smile
making a
and a wink.
Ostini is definitely making a scene over this. Not like a panicky scene, but definitely making a little bit of a scene over it.
Loud noise.
I think
Ostinia
you
got
must
that.
be mistaken, traveler. We are just on our way.
I'm not sure if Ostinia is flirting or threatening these people.
It's
Hmm.
its own brand
Maybe
of
both.
threatening.
Yes.
No, that sounds too close to something else. No.
Okay, well, if you're sure, but I mean, I noticed the way you look at me. It seems like, and I'm thinking, you're thinking things, but whatever. Oh, if needing my services, I'll let you go.
If it makes
They
any
just keep
difference, we
going.
can go bowling.
Hey, we can go bowling, and then after you can pay for the meal.
It's a Nateshian game. We use mud and grass and just kind of make it into a ball. And
And then I throw it so
And then,
hard at your head
okay.
that your head comes off.
Also
made a
known as
scene.
step skittles.
I've made a scene to make it where that we know we're being watched. So then I'll head over towards the rest of the game.
And you lot say I'm impulsive.
Well, I didn't attack them. I just wanted
I
them to
didn't
know
attack
that I
them
knew.
either. I'm just saying, you
Yes.
guys say I'm impulsive.
is it really an attack if you kill them immediately?
No.
Yes, yes.
Well, you see, it says here in the Geneva Convention, in order for it to break
So-
it, they need to survive the initial attack.
Yes.
So, if you... they can't report a violation if they're dead. You head up
So what you're saying
after
is
making your
it's only
scene.
inhumane if they die slowly.
Yeah. I think that's... Yes.
I don't think
I
that's the way it
that's
works,
actually-
Roach.
So, Ustenia, you head up to Isaac's room after making your scene and making your point, and enter midway through their conversation.
Ustinia. We were just discussing what to do.
Took you long enough. Did you stop off for an ale on your way up?
I just wanted to make it clear that those people that was watching us, there's seems to be a few of them. I know there's another couple. I just wanted to let them know that we know.
There was at least 4 of them.
Okay. Well.
Did you
hell of a
interact
time.
with the large man with the robe, the 2 with the items, or the small child?
No, there's a couple of traders, but no, they were definitely obviously looking over. They were trying deliberately to ignore. They noticed these things. But,
Why are we
you know,
letting this go? If I'd have done that, you guys have been down my throat by now.
If you'd have done that, you would have killed the 2 of them.
That's
I-
not
I-
true.
I didn't say I was letting this go either.
I mean, it's
I'm not
impulsive.
sure that was a good
Yes,
idea.
you've kind of given away the fact that we know now.
Yes.
So you've given away any element of
maybe
surprise.
Not
we
so
might
much.
have had.
With, maybe not so much with words. I didn't exactly say that. I know they were spies,
All right.
but
I was
they
just
know I
saying-
noticed.
Sometimes putting them on notice is not a bad idea. But I was just saying that I was going to go talk to the guardsman that we talked to earlier, Oda, about seeing if these were his men, because they'd want to keep an eye on people who murdered justfully in their town at least.
Okay, if you guys do that, I'll have to try and not be in the building again. Because,
I mean,
one, I wasn't there when
yeah. Also, we don't
You
need you being
suppose so.
searched.
to exactly that. So I will remain outside and see if I notice anyone watching us. In terms of while we're there, but yeah, I guess.
Rivallon, would you mind staying with
Okay.
Isaac? His eyes aren't as good as they used to be.
Okay. Thanks for that.
You're welcome, Mr.
think-
Blind Man.
I am. Yeah, exactly.
I'm saying that because it looks weird leaving a blind man sitting outside of a building on his own.
Are you saying I need a carer?
Yes.
Okay.
So, Jinx.
Is that the plan? We're gonna go try and talk to the
Well,
guards.
if we go through the correct channels first, at least that way we know it's not him, and we can tell him, hey, we're being followed, and things don't look too good. So yeah,
Okay.
we'll go talk to him first, I guess.
So you're all going?
Sure.
We're
I
all
guess agree.
going, but I'm waiting outside when they actually go in.
And Rivallon, because Rivallon also wasn't at the thing, because he...
Oh, that's true. Me and Rivallon weren't there when we were first questioned, so
Okay, but you're all going as a group 2 there.
Yes.
Okay.
This is where we get, like, stuck in an alleyway by 2 groups of guardsmen, and they tell us to leave town or else.
Get out of here.
This is where Isaac turns into a T-Rex again.
No, I haven't slept yet. I can't be. Can't be.
No,
Uh,
that ability.
Yeah,
All right. I'll say with the amount of time that's been going on, you're getting into the late afternoon kind of time.
Oh, and we should also think about what we should do about a job, but that can wait until after we dealt with this.
But you head out, and you're heading for the area where you saw Senior Guardsman Odo before, which was near the trade market, or the big central market, and you're just looking around for him.
If the kid is still at the pillar he was before, or if there's somebody stationed there.
It's been a while. There is no kid at the pillar, but if you take your time and look around, you do find a guard after a while nearby.
Is it a man or a woman?
It's hard to tell from the distance.
Excuse me, guard.
Yes.
I'm looking for Senior Guardsman Odo.
He's
He
not
might
on
be a
duty
bird
right
or something
now.
at the moment.
Well,
Senior
he's in his
Guardsman
regenerative period, so he's in a bucket in his room.
Dodo. He's in a bucket
That
over
or
in
he's
the corner.
that he's a Tenebrian mouse and really screw in with Quark in the lower level underneath his room. Just like little feet kicking around. That's a joke. That's a joke for DS9 watchers. Yeah, sorry.
Sorry about that. Sorry, couldn't help myself.
Yeah.
It's allowed. We do the same
It's
thing every now
it's
and
the
again.
DM's fault for naming the head guard Odo.
It's the first name that was on the list. I took it. It's got a whole bunch of names I can cross out on the list.
Next one's Cisco, and he will be a captain. And he'll have his own ship.
Is Cisco on here?
And actually own the dock as well.
Roach is just like, all right, let me edit my notes on the fly.
Don't think so.
Oh, this is just a list of DS9 characters, huh?
And his first officer will be called Kira.
So is there a Senior Guardsman on duty right now?
Yes. Head over that way. Take the that connecting road, and go 2 blocks over. It should be around there.
Thank you, Guardsman. And Sash will go.
And Mog will follow.
You start going along that way, down the indicated paths. It's getting a little late into the day, so foot traffic's pretty light around this area. The market's starting to close down. People are starting to go home, so not a lot of residents around here. So you're going down here, and it's a fairly empty street as you're walking. You go past first interchange, then the next. Make a perception check, everybody.
Are we being followed?
Make a perception check.
Oh,
everybody.
Match 20.
Oh my god, guys!
15.
I got an 11.
19.
Well, you got
Okay.
11 plus 8 for a 19.
Hey, Isaac, roll yours.
Oh, wait. 20. I got 20.
Oh, that's
Hey!
that's alright.
I got the lowest this
Every
time.
everyone succeeds.
Hey! Yay! Family succeeds.
I think that's
Sesh got the
possibly
second
first
lowest
time
on
ever.
that roll, just to put it out there.
After the second interchange and you're going down this even more kind of deserted road, well, actually everybody notices, to varying different degrees. You're not being followed, but you're not being followed on the ground level.
Oh.
You see, kind of in the beginning twilight sky, silhouetted
Fucking black
individuals.
spaceships.
Reapers.
The numbers, Mason. What did
What
I
can
mean?
you tell me about the Reapers?
Reapers.
Renegade.
Hang
You,
up on call.
You you notice silhouettes walking along the balconies and rooftops of the both sides of the road that you see. Anybody who rolled, you get that if you got a 15 or above. Anybody that got a 20 or above, which is
Justinia, Mog,
Justinia,
Isaac.
Mog, and Isaac, you can ascertain some details out of them. They are all they're all humanoid, average shape, average build.
Yeah, some really good details there.
But the thing that jumps out at you is none of their faces are visible because they're wearing a mask, half mask. But it has no design on it. It is a like if
Like
you
a
had to
Thieves
describe the
Guild thing.
If you had to
from
describe the
Skyrim.
color of it, it is nondescript gray. Like it's just a gray that blends into everything. Flat, like set like ceramic-y mask on the bottom half. Their eyes are perfectly visible. Top half of their face is
Goddamn
visible,
ninjas!
But everything basically from their nose down is covered in this ceramic, like gray, like smooth mask. But they're not like hostile looking. You don't see any weapons. You can see them watching and kind of walking here and there, and then you'll lose sight of one, and another one will take position like a couple of feet away, like it was prepared as you're walking down the street. Maybe
This
see
isn't the guard.
No.
in
Nope.
in maybe about 5 minutes, you've seen, if you like keep visit like the top three, if you like keep mental count, you've seen 20, 30 so far, like changing out positions, keeping an eye, but 5 or 6 have eyes on you the whole time. And you wouldn't notice them, like they're incredibly hard to spot even with this. They blend in very well, but you just catch them like out of shadows here and there.
An out stealth to stealth.
But you're walking down. What are you doing?
I'm stealthing.
Okay.
Look at that. What's the
Hey,
rest?
don't you have advantage now that we're getting into the evening?
Yes, I do, so I can do that again.
Yes, you can.
I'll take the first one.
Yeah.
Take the dirty 20 rather than the 10.
So, question, Roach.
Yes.
Would I know enough about Oda to be able to cast sending and send a spell and send a message to him? It does say familiar now. I will say that.
I'd say you only saw him with his helmet on, and a
don't know
normal
his
combat
face.
helmet's
Fair
normal
enough.
combat helmet's not gonna necessarily have the full. It's gonna have like I said, you saw like his goatee and everything, but everything else is kind of shattered. He's wearing a helmet, like protection. It's
No, is what I'm getting at.
no, I don't think that would really work. No,
Alright,
you
cool.
met him for like 5 minutes.
I
if
met him for
that.
5 minutes. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I don't think that would work.
Okay.
Right.
I'm gonna.
Go on, Mitch.
Yes.
I was just gonna say, in Draconic to Sesh, These people have been watching us in a hushed tone still, just in case. But these people have been watching us ever since we've been following the directions of a guard. Can I just point that one out? But yeah, that's all as it sounds.
Dash gives you like this very obligatory nod.
Yeah.
I say in an undertone to Rivallon, if I can still aware that he's around. Can you get to the roof?
I was going to ask Roach if there was any way up to the roof.
You wouldn't be stealthy getting up to the roof. Right now, what I'm assuming, to be stealthy as you are, because technically you can't just like meld out of nowhere. It doesn't really make narrative sense at that point. It doesn't really. I'm assuming basically to be stealthy like that, you've kind of gone off to the side a little bit, and you've gone into some shadows, and you're taking like these aren't like solid faced buildings. Like there's overhangs and like pillars and stuff like that. You're taking.
So
like,
I'm out of sight, so I could
position.
look down a side alley to see if there's like a ladder or something.
You could, but you would by doing so, you wouldn't necessarily. You'd be going out of like your stealth position. And
You're currently doing that Assassin's Creed thing where you blend
into a bench.
Crowd. No, the crowds, the walking crowds.
All right.
Well, there's no other crowds on the street right now. You're alone on the street.
I'm doing Splinter Cell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's sticking to shadows right now because you've got your
Armor.
thing. But if you exit that, it's not dark outside. It's just it's like dim in the shadows right now. But outside, it's still light. It's just kind of a twilight, kind of getting near that point.
I will relay what Isaac
Give it
told
a
me
shot,
to.
but you'd have to make some more checks to do it because you're not exactly sure who's got line of sight on you and stuff. But
I will relay to Estina in Uteshian what Isaac told me as best I can.
best
I
you
still
can.
don't understand Draconic, so if someone could tell me, that would be great.
I'll write it down in Celestial and just show her.
You guys need to make your own code.
We need to all learn
I'm going
to
take linguist. I swear to God, I'm taking linguist next level, and I'm going to make my own cipher as soon as I can. You've lost me. All right. No, we're actually just doing like shadow jutsu shit with our hands.
Calm
Calm your tits.
What are you doing?
That's actually pretty good, to be fair.
Yeah, it is good. Though it's not as good as Talus and Jaffe's crow.
I haven't
can
heard
do
his
it.
crow yet. All I
You
know
can
is
hear
a secret pigeon.
Oh, yeah. No, he does. It's almost indistinguishable. It's amazing.
So yeah, I'm gonna keep walking. I guess I'm gonna go to where I was told to go, because if we start acting weird now, we're gonna just give it away.
I will slowly drift away from the group because I'm going to stay in the shadows, and hopefully get them to kind of go, where the hell did the last one go?
All right. So, but are you maintaining line of sight with the group?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a straight alleyway. It's not.
It's a roadway. It's a roadway with like buildings and.
It's
and
more or
facades
less
in
straight.
front. Yeah, it's more or less straight. Okay, you're maintaining stealth as best you can.
I'll stay outside with
I'm-
Isaac.
I'm keeping the check. Like I'm keeping the check in mind, but it's not perfect because you do have to like dart between buildings sometimes and stuff. But yeah.
There's just a flash of black on like odd off yellow from the sunset.
Yeah.
What
But
the hell's
yeah, you
Must have been the wind.
As an arrow is plunged into their eye.
Yeah.
at a certain point though, you do arrive, like you hit the area that you were told to, and which notices that it takes basically a 90-degree turn at one point. Is the only option you have left to go. It's not necessarily a dead end, but it's got to make a hard turn. And when you do, you see an individual in the center of the street, slightly kind of going, like the street itself starting to shrink down in width. But an individual standing in the middle of the road, by themselves, from what you can see, a small human man, light olive skin, wearing a nondescript cloth cloak.
Is it the same colour
Very
grey?
much some. No, just kind of like a dull, adult earthy tone. Just again, something that you could see, like if it was on somebody, you wouldn't even remember that they had it on, kind of a thing. But
This
then-
doesn't look like what I'd assume senior guardsmen would wear.
No, it doesn't. But you see this small man standing in the middle of the road. You can't see his hands, but from like the bowed out part of his cloak, you can think like he's doing like the Napoleon thing. It's behind his back, and he's got him clasped behind his back, and he's waiting.
I
Again, the
very,
face is
I
also
do
incredibly
say in
nondescript.
Draconic as quietly as I can, so like only the people near me can hear. Prepare for a fight, just in case.
I'm not ready.
Well, you may get ready, bitch.
Western theme.
Guns at dawn.
Maraca goes off. Maraca shakes in the distance. As random tumbleweed just flies in.
I mean, we are in the desert, so maybe.
It's true. That is true. The decline. God damn it. I don't think so. But you all. I'm
I
assuming you get a
approach.
certain-
Slowly.
All right. When you get, as a group, when you get within, like,
I'd like to say I'm at the back of the group.
yeah, when you get within
Yeah.
like audible distance of the figure, a soft voice rings out, with, strangely enough, no accent at all. It is bare common, like the best kind of synthesized voice you could think of, but with no.
Hello
accent or
there.
anything.
My name is Microsoft Sam.
Well, not like that. That's pretty bad. but
RB, RB
but a,
Chief, Ruffle Mayo.
My Ravelcopter goes. That is such old school internet.
That really
Uh,
is, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been ages.
2005 called. It wants its YouTube back.
Jesus, God, I feel old. The voice rings out. Voice rings out. Hello.
I'm
Okay.
guessing you're not the guardsman.
No, I am not a guardsman. I am
I,
still an
so-
individual of some import within the city. It's like a soft smile on his face, not hostile or anything.
So you bring your friends here for fun, or are they just insurance?
You're quite the bunch of individuals that
Why, thank you.
We try.
certain insurance has to be produced, maintained,
All
just in
right.
case.
So what exactly do you want to talk to us about then?
Very straightforward.
I don't see the
Okay.
point in beating around the bush here.
I'm Gordrin Munai.
Gordrin Munai.
Yes, it's GODRENMONI.
And how exactly are you important here?
I am the current field commander of the Thanes of Paramin.
Can I make
Now-
a history check?
Yeah, actually, you can with advantage.
Thanes
That-
of Paramin.
Is that Thanes spelled the modern way or the Anglo-Saxon way?
THANES.
Old way.
No, new way.
New way.
New way.
So it's
Old way is Thagonus.
Thagonus.
Protagonist, yeah. History check with advantage.
History advantage.
Oh, no,
I
pal.
don't have. I
no,
do not
they're
have.
sitting there complaining about 2005 being so long ago and they're so old and things. They have no idea.
Listen.
I'm sorry, rival.
Really
What were you
have
doing
no
in
idea.
1997, rival?
I was at college, mate.
I was born.
What were you doing in 1995?
I think I was watching whatever cartoon was
Losing
on
my
at that
virginity.
point.
Why? What were you doing?
Big born.
No, actually, I wasn't born till the end of it. So, congrats, rival. You now have a son. No wonder we look so alike.
Can you imagine? That was just the reveal of this.
Well, the funny thing is that I don't know my dad, so it's possible.
just randomly there. Da?
Papa?
No.
Well, you see, I can no longer call him daddy because now he's father.
Oh no.
Sesh, as pertaining to your history check, yeah, you've heard of the Thanes. They are, during your service as a guard, there was a trade mission that came from Paramount. Some negotiations between the city-states, just kind of working things out. They're not hostile to each other, but they're not necessarily always working together. So it was kind of a thing. You remember that although you never actually saw them, or at least you didn't think you actually ever saw them, there was mention that part of the protection detail of one of the council members that came to negotiate with the Al-Hut Council not only consisted of their own city guards, but also consisted of something called the Thanes. And from what you remember from some of the old grizzled veterans of your guard, they said that the Thanes were like a secret police or a cut above normal guards.
They are the shock troopers.
They don't.
They're SWAT.
If they're doing their jobs right, you never actually know you ever see them.
They're the FBI?
Kind
CIA?
of. Or the CIA.
Yeah.
CIA is in country though.
KGB.
Out of country, sorry.
Yeah, NSA is in country.
Basically,
MI5?
basically any place. Basically, the Thanes, wherever Paramon's interests are at stake or are at risk or have to be protected or anything like that, they're probably nearby.
So, what exactly is at risk for the Council of Paramon for the actual commander of the Thanes to be talking to a ragtag group of mercenaries who just strolled in from the desert?
You didn't exactly stroll in, did you?
Well, we did, and then we got attacked, and then we sort of made ourselves known.
No, you didn't. Please don't lie to me. I can tell.
Oh, yeah, the whole thing.
That particular warehouse has been under surveillance for a period of time.
So what exactly do you want to know?
Right now, I don't want to know anything. I instead want to offer you an escort to a nearby safe house where you will be interviewed.
So you want to know something, but you want to know something that we just can't say out in the street.
It's not that you can't say it in the street. We would prefer you not. And it must be administered in a controlled manner.
What if we refuse?
You may do so. It would be unfortunate. And by the way, at this point, because they're not trying to necessarily be all stealthy at this point, and Rival, you can see this as well, because you're within line of sight. The individuals that at this point have been trailing you on the rooftops, you see basically all of them now are on the rooftops. Rough head count, probably about 30 heads looking down at you, and you can hear a soft clicking on a couple of them, and like out of the cloaks, and they're resting against the side of the wall, you see hand crossbows and the like pointing down at you. And
This would be if cigarettes existed. Sesh will light one, start smoking. Just
there's
Point
a,
of order, you don't smoke like that.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. There's
Depends on
a-
what you're smoking.
You
That's
really
true.
don't smoke like that.
No, you
Yeah.
don't. It's obviously
a-
not a smoker, isn't it?
Good chance some of you might get out if you were to refuse. But I can assure you, we can get some of our information from the dead.
I mean, yeah.
So can we, to be fair.
Out of character, do they know where Rivallon is?
Rivallon, make a perception check.
Perception check.
Yes, make a perception check for me.
Oh.
Can I re-roll that?
Please. Please.
It's gonna.
He's gonna pretend
Just give me
he's
1
looking
second.
for them, and you know.
Please, Roach. Please.
Rivallon, you're very much focused on what's going on right now with your friends, and the show of force that just occurred. You don't hear until the last minute. You're like in a half alley, like it's a dead end alley, and you're in the shadows looking down through some pillars at your friends, probably about 75 feet, 85 feet away. Kind of thing, keeping an eye on them. You don't notice until the last minute when you hear a clicking sound about 30 feet above you. And you look up and you see about 5 individuals. Again, smooth half face mask, plate, in the cloak, like earthy tone, blending cloak. And they're not like hostily, like they're about ready to fire, but they now have you like covered. Is a thing.
So let me
and
get straight. You didn't even bother to get me to do a check or anything. You just basically assumed.
Oh no, your stealth check is still in play. I've been rolling for their perception check the whole time, and they have a very good perception check because they've got a
That's their
magical.
job.
Well, they can see magic items.
They
Well,
can
that
see
makes that
both.
easy, doesn't it?
It
Yeah.
does make it very easy. So that was your stealth check. DC was very high to get around them with these guys specifically, the Seekers.
So, Mr. Money, shall we say?
Rivallon
Or
thinks.
Commander, would
"Ooh,
you prefer?
challenge?
Did you get that? While that's going on, if you
Mr.
are,
Money, Commander Money, whatever you prefer.
whatever works for you.
Mr. Money. What exactly is going to happen when we get to the safe house?
You'll be
If-
questioned.
Past that?
We'll know if you're lying or not.
And
Put
if you
in
don't like the answers we give?
tensions.
And if
That
they
will
are
be
the
a bridge-
truth, obviously.
That'll be a bridge we will cross when we come to it.
We're stuck in town for 2 weeks anyway. We shouldn't be making enemies. And that's when I look at the group.
I can
No.
promise you the process of questioning will be non-invasive.
I sincerely hope so. Though you are definitely as spooky as the old men say.
And also, our definitions of invasive may differ entirely.
All right. Well, while you guys are standing there silently, I'll call out, guys, can someone tell me what we're doing, please? Because I've got my bow drawn at these 5 guys, and I want to know if I can shoot them.
Let's
Rivallon, would
not-
you put your bow away? Let's go. Come on, Rivallon, get up here. Because there's like 30
It's
more of
6
them
to
up here.
1. We've got good odds.
Master Elf, you're best with us at the moment.
Fight.
Rivallon, don't be stupid.
Fine,
You're
but I'm having
brash,
the next
but you're
fight.
not stupid.
You
Right.
never know, these guys might give you a fight in terms of they might pay us to go do some more fighting. So
Yeah.
It's a good point. Didn't think
All
of
right,
that. Fine.
Mr. Money, I guess we're going with you.
That is good to hear. Follow me, please. And
Why
start
does he
walking.
sound like the guy from iRobot? Not iRobot, the the thing starring Remy Malek, I think is his name.
I'm
Mr.
gonna
Robot?
write.
Mr. Robot.
I'm gonna write down in Celestial again to Mog, and ask if she can arcane sense this guy. Or
Can
whatever
I
it is,
switch
you know,
my
the-
eyes on, please, Roach?
Yeah, that. That's what I'm gonna write down. I'm just gonna write eyes. In
It's
Celestial.
literally it's just the XCOM 2 line of "I got my eyes
Okay.
on."
I just gotta check one thing.
This is
don't
where
know,
all the guys with the arrows trained on you just whoop to Mog because of the magic.
I basically want to see if he's a construct or not, because it's
Mm,
that weird
Magic
sort of.
items, not magic eyes.
Fair. Yep.
Yeah, but if he is intelligently magical, he could be a construct. Like that could be why he's like, I am so robot.
In theory, all
Okay.
you can see on me is my book.
Yeah.
All right,
Well,
so
You know what they can see
so-
on me?
Yes.
Oh fuck yeah!
And that scares
So-
the bejesus out of
I'm
Mog.
seeing it.
So Mog, you basically you
If.
switch on your detect magic, and when you look at Mr. Moody or Money, it's odd. You don't actually when you switch it on, you don't actually see him anymore. You see a 15-foot bubble around where he is, following him, of abjuration magic.
Remind me what abjuration is.
Abjuration is hold on a second, I'll get the exact definition just so.
Thank you, DM. That would be wonderful. Please don't kill us.
Abjuration.
Illuminati.
Is which
the
form of the
abjurations-
frog or strawberry is this?
The abjuration school of magic encompasses protective spells.
This is when you want to defend the frog. Yeah.
Defend
So-
the frog and eat the strawberry.
We couldn't have killed him if we tried unless we had the spell. Because everything would have bounced off.
Maybe.
Challenge accepted.
I mean, I think Ustinia might still be able to hit him, but I don't think Cleave would be as effective. And I think, other than that, that would be about it.
Well, no, abjuration is just the school, and the abjuration is protection, so it could be protection from being scryed on, for example, like I've got.
True. Yeah. Fair enough. It could just be a thing that's like.
Okay, I turn round, look at Isaac. Has he got the same bubble on him? He doesn't, does he?
No, he
No.
doesn't have the same thing. You can definitely see he's got his symbol and all the rest. You can, and when you look back, you can see all the rest of your magic items and various individuals, including Rivallon with his glowing
Glowing bow.
glowing bow.
His armor isn't magical, is it?
No.
Is the Dragonhide innately magic?
The Dragonhide's not innately magic. No,
No.
it's just its natural tendency is it makes it better at stuff.
Ah, fair.
Kind of a thing. It's not a magical effect. Because that would be a lot more expensive and harder to make.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, true.
But if you're following him, how close do you follow him?
15, 20 feet behind him, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Assuming he doesn't ask us to stay any closer or any further away.
No.
I say
no,
in my
and
quietest undertone, there is some sort of protective magic around him. Like, I can't see him through the magic.
as you walk behind him, and by the way, at this point, Rivallon, what are you doing? Are you just rejoining the group, just kind of walking up behind them, or are you still trying to remain stealthy? Like, what's your?
They can see me.
Yeah, I think rejoin the group, man.
Oh, I'm doing my normal kind of, the
5 feet away.
they've got the
Separate
whole
from the
the
group.
arrows and bows and things and all like on me, and it's just like, and this is supposed to be intimidating.
Can I have a
Alright.
count of how many I can see surrounding us?
Sure. Give me an intelligence check, actually.
Jeez.
Not for the counting, for another effect.
Oh, super.
Just remembering what they look like. So,
She dumb. She's so
So,
dumb.
How many
No, I mean,
crit
you can-
fails have we
you
had
can-
today?
Yeah, it's been bad. You can
no, we had a
the odd-
string of nat 20s as well, though. It's
Yeah, I know.
yeah.
All from that guy there.
Whom are you pointing at?
because Ustenia got a couple as well.
That's true.
It's odd, Mog. You try and count them, but it's like they blend in very well. So keeping track of them and making sure you're not double counting them is difficult. They're very tough to maintain like an eye line on, and you guesstimate you're looking at 20, 40 maybe. It depends. You're not sure how many exactly you're counting, but there's a good number. There's a couple squads worth keeping an eye on you. And as you're walking, after about 5 minutes of walking, another 3 are now behind the group, about 30 feet behind the walking.
This makes me feel both warm and fuzzy and terrified.
The other odd thing is no one else is on the road.
It's a show of power.
This makes me feel like it must be Tuesday.
It's a second. It's actually a Wednesday.
Isaac is just staying so quiet, like head down, like he's trying to be that.
I wish I wasn't here. I wish I wasn't here. I wish I wasn't here.
Why haven't I leveled up yet? I could be teleporting out.
That's quite a while to cast, but it was more the fact.
Just sprout wings and fly away, literally.
Roach, how long's it been since we fought?
You got a short rest. In fact, I'll give you guys a short rest. But
I think I used nothing that entire fight.
Yeah, because you had a lunch or a dinner, so you were able to get a short rest out of it. But that was all you were able to get out of it.
Shit. So we haven't long rested. Okay.
No, because it's 8 hours of sleep.
I'll spend a hit die. Hold on.
4.
Okay.
That's
4.
good,
You got-
right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But after a little while, you arrive wherever they're taking you, and you're in front of. It looks like an abandoned warehouse.
Oh goody.
An old
Yay.
abandoned warehouse with broken-in windows and boarded-up doors, but one door is still unboarded. There are no guards outside, and from what you can see, there's no light emitting from the actual interior, from what you can see, at least.
And everyone knows from watching TV that only villains make their bases in old abandoned warehouses.
So Rivallon has an old abandoned warehouse.
Like.
Well, you see, that's true. It depends on the show you're watching.
But as he
Sometimes they're the
walks,
same thing.
but as he starts walking onto the property, we have arrived. Thank you for coming quietly. And pushes the door open and enters. See, he's enveloped in darkness as he enters, and you don't see anything past the doorway.
I'll follow him.
I've got dark vision.
So do I.
You still don't see anything past the doorway.
Oh,
funnily
this
enough.
is not good. I was promised 5-star service.
But
I'll
as soon
follow him.
as,
Why not?
as soon as you enter, Sesh,
Ducking under the
you-
door frame.
ducking under the door frame, and like a split second after you, there's light on the inside of this interior.
Illusion. These guys have got everything.
And
I
you
did say
see-
they were the spooks, man.
And you see Muli standing about 20 feet back from you, on the opposite side of this room that you're in, just waiting.
Guess I'll go first
Again,
then.
No,
I'll go first.
I'll go
as
first.
if you all enter,
I'm
there's enough
Spartacus.
room for you all.
I'm
to-
Spartacus.
to enter.
There we enter.
If you would be so kind, there is a room set aside for you all. One of my associates will enter and ask a few questions.
Is it a room each? That's out of character. Is that what he means,
No.
or is it no? Okay.
Instead of room, a singular room for all of you.
Okay. Sesh will
Please.
nod and go for the room.
Come this way.
Said the spider to the
like,
fly.
He does the arm thing, and there's a room on the opposite side of him, but he doesn't move.
Yep. Sure.
Okay. Isaac. You, weird, actually. I just want to double check how this works. All right. You feel, it's a weird feeling. You get within about 10 feet of him as you kind of squeeze past to the doorway. And when you do so, you feel the effects of your, actually all of you feel the effects while you pass by of your magical items go away when you're within about 10 feet of them.
Question. What happens to the bag of holding? Because dispelling
Fuck.
that would break it.
So let me double check here.
He's like, oh, I just fucked up.
No. This is something.
I need to check that, because if so, the contents of that entirety will now spill out onto the floor at a rapid rate.
Oh no. So, do you have a
Please
spare
don't
bag
break
of
up.
holding? You just broke ours.
Can we just pretend to leave it in the room?
So I put the bag of holding inside another bag of holding. No!
Oh god, fucking opens a portal and we all get sucked in.
No, actually, because it doesn't dispel. It just because the effects of what you're affecting right now doesn't dispel magic.
Suppresses
Just-
magic.
It just makes it go away while it's in this range. So the
So
bag becomes
how's-
mundane while it's in that area, and then when you leave it, it's fine again.
Okay.
So, hold on. Anything that's been attuned will need to be reattuned, right? Because it's been
Yes.
unattuned.
Yep.
Oh, shit.
Oh god! Oh no! Ah! That's what would happen as my constitution goes back to +1, and so does my. Isaac just kind of falls over as the life gets sucked out of him.
like
I-
swift nausea
So,
comes through.
what was my constitution before?
Like 13, right? It was a +1.
Yeah, it
It
was,
was really bad.
13. It's 13. My charisma goes down to a 17. Okay. My
And the bag of
HP
holding?
doesn't reset. and
The bag of holding is fine as while it just goes to, it becomes a normal bag while it is in this field, but then it goes back to being bag holding after it is out of the
Okay.
field.
It's suspended in something.
I looked it up. That's how people are interpreting it.
Right.
Okay.
So, Sesh just feels like her armor changed a little, and like her shield
Hold
goes
on.
different, but that doesn't need attunement. So
Hold
when she steps out again, everything goes back to normal, I guess.
It's a roll a d20.
Mage had to go searching in all the drawers around his house for
Because
Rivallon.
technically the way it works is the bag of holding just acts as a portal to a pocket dimension on the astral plane.
True. Yeah.
And in this thing, it's just temporarily disables.
So we
the
just
portal.
can't get to our stuff.
For the time it's
While
in
you-
that
while-
field.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
everything
we're in
that's
the
in
field.
there, I can't get
Yeah.
to.
And by the way, as soon as you exit the 10 feet kind of distance around this man, those of you that have magic items that aren't attuned, you feel the effects return.
So my
Is
shield
my
just goes
book
boop,
attuned?
back to normal.
Huh? No, your book's a natural tendency of yourself.
Yeah.
It just
Yeah,
I thought
your
it's
book's
not
a
attuned.
yeah, it's more of a
Yeah.
focus thing, isn't it? Whereas
Isaac's the
I'm
most
now-
affected.
I'm just now like,
Yay.
Because like I think Isaac was the only one who had items that were attuned.
And he
Did
had
the-
2 of them.
Did the bow have to be attuned?
No.
No.
I have 3 of them. I can't use
Oh,
my
right.
wand now either.
Nope, that's true.
I've lost
Oh.
all of my focuses, but my old focus,
well,
which I
you're
would need
fucked.
to be attuned to. So I can't cast right now.
Wow, you're fucked.
It's true.
To be fair, neither
Wait a
can
second.
I.
Does that apply to my holy symbol or no? Because my holy symbol is just a
because
hunk of
that's not a
silver.
magical one.
Yeah, my
It's 'cause
holy
I've
symbol.
changed to magic items that I have to attune to, I believe.
Yeah.
I think I might be able to still cast with them now that they're back, but I'm not attuned. I just
Your
don't get the
bow of
effects.
warning is an attunement, Rivallon.
Is it?
I checked it. It requires
you-
attunement. So yes, your bow no longer gives. It's still a bow, and it's still a magical bow, but it no longer provides you a warning.
Like
Yeah.
that, right?
For
For the
And
next
it
hour,
bloody
I think,
worked
until you
anyway.
retune. Yeah, you gotta wait an hour until it retunes, I think.
And I think also Ustenia's axe is an attunement.
Yep.
Isn't that, is
Yeah.
cleave attunement? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's still an axe, and it's still a good axe, but it no longer provides the
Let me
necrotic
just
or anything
check
like
my
that.
shield.
Is
'cause I
that
think
permanent because it's attunement?
No.
It's until
Attunement,
you reattune.
you have to reattune to it. So that's a. I
Your
think it's
shield
an
will
a-
be attunement as well, Mikey.
Yeah.
it
mine
doesn't
as well.
say on the shield. No, I thought it would say
Uh,
in the description box thing.
It
but
would
no,
it would
yeah.
say something. I can double check for you.
Yes,
It might
I'm-
not-
I have the
Right.
Sentinel Shield thing open right now. It says armor, shield, uncommon, cost, weight, dex bonus,
might
properties,
not.
magic.
Nope,
Description.
it is not require attunement.
Nope.
Oh wow.
And my armor is
It's
just
just
plus
normal.
1, so when I step out
Yeah.
again, everything goes back to normal for me.
Yeah, everything goes back to normal. And when you enter the room, and by the way, the room has a single table with 5 chairs on one end and 1 chair on the other end. Moody looks back at you and says, "I apologize for that."
Isaac's just lying on the ground, like convulsing, just.
I pick him up, sort of put his arm around me, go, I know, come on.
No, seriously. Now?
Please wait here. An associate will be with you momentarily. And he just exits.
You okay, Isaac?
That was not a feeling I have ever felt before. I just felt my body get weaker. That was. Oof. Yes.
I feel completely powerless.
I am.
I feel pretty normal.
Rub it in, why don't you?
I've gone back
That's
to
amazing.
normal, but I'm scared of that.
That's something to be
I-
scared of, alright.
I like
What?
Ostinia,
Mhm.
you good?
Sorry?
Sesh is asking Ostinia if he's good.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Good. You look a little... not confused, but maybe perplexed.
I'm not used to this.
I don't think anybody really is.
Strangeness.
That's, yeah.
Just as a. Oh no. Okay. I've still got dagger. Cool.
He's like, I got a knife.
Isaac's gonna go shiv one of these guys. Return favor.
I don't have my halberd either. So I was like,
Isaac charges one of them, screeching like a banshee, and just starts shivving them inside of the
payback!
You know what they say about being in prison, right? Shank the nearest guy you can find.
No, it's
Biggest
fine.
one.
It's fine. Isaac is just. Isaac is sat in a corner. What's in this room? Is it just
It is
Table and chairs.
It is oddly enough, it is a eggshell white room with a single table of cheap wood and 5 chairs on one side and a single chair on the other.
How bright is the light and can it be shone in our faces?
It's
Maybe.
odd. It's a lit room, but there is no torch.
Magical light.
Yay. More magic.
Sesh sits down. That's hard to say.
Sits down
No, it's because I said Sesh. Sesh sits down.
on the
Right.
seashore.
Yes. She gets some
Rivallon
seashells.
sits down and puts his feet upon the table.
Table cracks in half because of how cheap it is.
Isaac is gonna sit in the corner of the room, facing the door, like up against the wall on the floor.
All right.
Sesh just pulls a chair and sits down.
What does Mog and Ustenia do? You just take your seats, or you?
Mog is pacing. She does not
I'm
like
just
the
gonna
legal
take
system.
a seat.
All right. It's an undetermined time, not long, but
I'm
long
practicing my
enough to make you-
Uteshian with Ostinia in the meantime.
long enough that you notice it takes some time, and an individual walks in. This individual is wearing a very mundane set of clothes, a cloak of earthy color, and a half mask of gray.
Is he from Kent?
Maybe.
Funny
Maybe.
you should mention, you actually can't determine a gender with this
Oh.
person.
I'm just
Is
saying,
their name Alex?
It's mundane. So.
Yeah. funny. But you only see their face from their like mid nose up and like their eyes. Like that's all you see as they enter the room.
Who did their eyes fall to first when they walk in? Sesh is watching them.
It's actually funny to mention it when you when you actually look at their eyes, you see no pupil at all.
Huh.
It's
Like there's
not-
no pupil, but there's an iris.
no, there's it's just a white
Me.
eye.
Ah,
It's just a
fair.
white. It's
They're
just a white
blind.
eye.
Got it.
Oh. Oh.
And they kind of like pan their head across the room. And also, oddly enough, you can't actually tell a gender from the voice either. It is almost devoid of personality. Hello. Would you please take your seats and place your hands where I can see them?
Sesh puts her hands out on the table.
Thank you.
Just a big ol'
Sits
Boom!
down.
Table shatters.
You've got a thing with breaking tables today. I'm wondering what's wrong with you.
Every time someone puts their hands on the table, it breaks again, but a new one just resurfaces.
Please, everyone, take a seat. And they kind of walk smoothly over and take a seat in the one chair opposite of all of you. This will go quicker. Cooperation.
Look, if you wanted this to go quicker, then you would have been in here earlier.
I finally sit down at the table.
Hands where I can see them, please.
On the table.
And they start on one end, and I'm going to take a guess. I'm going to say Mog is on one end.
Yep.
Just going to guess on one end.
She is as far
Mog.
away from that person as she can be.
What is your name?
That's directed at Mog, yes?
Yes.
Margaret Pomfret Longsbury.
Are you currently in the custody of the Thanes of Paramin?
I am.
It's funny. They don't have a pupil or any type of iris on their eye, but they're staring at you. They're looking at you.
It's like
Everyone
having
in this
Isaac stare
party
at
is
you.
used to that.
Yep.
Yeah,
Just like having
yeah.
Isaac.
I'm not.
It's
I'm
just
used
like,
to
yeah,
that.
it's true.
It's literally us going, and
And
But they're very intently staring at you as you answer, and like changing
do I have to
the
start
angle
making
of their
wisdom
head.
saving throws?
No,
Maybe.
they're not casting anything on you. They're observing.
They're just
Uh,
observing.
they're doing a lie detector. They're getting a baseline.
It's like the
They do
scenes
that-
in The Expanse where like the people take the drugs.
Hands where I can see them, please. Bam.
Yep.
Yeah. But basically, they go down each and every person doing the same thing.
When they ask Seshib if they're in the custody of the Saint, she says no.
They just keep going. They get a baseline. And then to the whole table. What is your purpose in this city?
Waiting
Work
for our
brother,
equipment.
get a job, make money,
Wait for our equipment.
wait for our equipment.
About it.
Yeah, that pretty much covers it at the moment.
Where were you 2 weeks previous?
In the Central Deserts.
Yeah, middle of the Grey Wastes.
Yeah.
For what purpose?
We were going to a cathedral. An old an old Bahamutian cathedral out there.
Have you recently been inside of the Uteshian Steppe Kingdoms?
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Oh yeah.
No, we
I
have. She
forgot.
hasn't.
She
Yeah,
has. We travelled through it to get into the Grey Wastes.
Yeah. Yeah. We would have. Well, she would have been. If it was from Tarkova into the steppes down into the Grey Waste. So yeah. She would
Oh
have been.
yeah,
Yeah.
there is that, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not for any length of time.
But you weren't. It's not like you went to visit
No.
with us when we went to
Yeah.
Ustenia's family and everything. You weren't with that. You did go through
You-
when we were coming down. Yeah.
Were you near the Abranan border with the Uteshian Steppe Kingdoms?
Which border is that again? Sorry, Roach out of
The
character.
Abranan border. It's the brown country to the north of the Uteshian Steppe Kingdoms. It's
No.
where,
Check in.
We won't.
Okay.
No,
No.
we weren't.
for reference, Midge, that was Crimson Asar's original characters in the first Sleeping Giants
First
characters'
season.
homeland.
My family wasn't camped anywhere near the border, no. We were in the more northerly parts of the kingdom, but we weren't near the border. We were still in the main steppe area. Which is where the Upper King clan tends to winter before we move.
2 months previous, were you inside of the city of Tarkova?
2 months previous, we wouldn't have been in Tarkova. We would have
No.
been in.
Utesh.
No, we spent what 2 weeks in Utesh, and then 2 months prior to that, we would have been in
Spent a
Gorgon,
month
right?
in Utesh
We-
because
we-
you spent,
we-
you
we
spent a
spent-
week in coma.
Oh, yeah.
We spent we spent a month in the desert, so
Yeah,
month, 2 weeks.
So
And
we
then-
probably-
it
Possibly
probably would have been. Yeah,
possibly
it's a bit
crossover
iffy. Yes.
somewhere between there and the Steppe Kingdoms.
Where would I have been?
You would have
Tarkova.
been. You would have been in Tarkova, yeah. You would have been in Tarkova because you were there previously, hunting down Lee.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, then.
Did you have anything to do with the attack on a skyship?
No, we were there
in
after.
Tarkova?
We got back a few days after that.
Yeah.
I was there during the attack, but I was not a part of it.
When you entered this city, you were accompanied by a 6th individual. Where are they now?
She went home.
We don't know.
He.
She left. Got a ship.
Oh, this city or Tarkova?
Yes. This city.
This city.
Oh, sorry.
She
I
left.
thought you meant Tarkova because obviously we had our one then. I was like,
She
Uh,
booked
yeah,
passage on
she
a
left.
ship to go home.
She left.
Do you know what organization that individual was a part of?
yes.
Yes.
Do you support or materially aid this organization?
No.
No.
No, she was our prisoner.
An odd prisoner.
She
Unshackled.
gave us the information she wanted. We wanted, and
We traded.
We
We
gave
wanted
her a deal.
information. She wanted to live. She gave us the information we wanted. We escorted her here and released her. So she could go home.
made a deal. Kept our end of the bargain.
A hand goes into the cloak and then comes out again and places 3 coins onto the table. A copper, an Illyrium, and a platinum piece.
Oh, that's nice.
All of the same make as the ones you've seen Sala's people use.
We still have the Illyrium of those, so
I pull out-
I can't. No, they're in the bag of holding. We can't
They're
do
in the bag of
that.
holding.
We have it
Can't
back
get it.
now, but I also have the.
Oh no,
I
you
have
have it
the-
back.
Okay.
It came back,
Well,
so you left 10 feet away from Moody.
I take one of the Illyrium out of the bag of holding and put it down.
What do you know of these?
We found them.
They originate from a civilization from an island to the south.
Southeast.
Do you have any knowledge of the burning of the Abranan border fort 1 month previous?
History? Or is this nothing we'd know about?
That'd be you would be in the desert at that point.
No.
Wait. No, we'd be in the desert at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
No, we were traveling through the desert at that point, on the way to the temple. It took us 6 weeks.
Yep. Not a fun trip.
Only when anyone but me or Usteni were leading.
I did one good one.
I wasn't going to say anything.
Thank you. Takes the coins back, puts it back into their cloak. Do you have any
Speaks.
knowledge or any previous contact? The Theron Unlimited fishing company?
Could I make a history check to see if I know of this company?
Yeah, go ahead.
Was this? Didn't we
That's not-
take a
that's-
boat?
This is not the original boat we came in on, is it?
No, that wasn't a fishing trawler. That was a
Okay, cool.
15.
18.
15.
Yeah, Thrall Unlimited is it's like it operates along a lot of the southern, kind of coastal cities. They hunt whales essentially in the abyss, of the ocean. It's called the Aran's Abyss. Large like whales. They go out and hunt and take back like meat, oil, the different things that are
Blubber.
useful, blubber, all kinds of that stuff. They're moderately successful. You've seen their ships. They're big. They hire a lot. They make a lot of money,
And they smell.
And they smell a lot. But that's all you've had. I mean, you don't directly interact with them, or you haven't.
Sesh just kind of shrugs. I don't know much about a whaling company, but no.
Know of them. Haven't dealt with them.
I have no
Thank
knowledge
you.
of them.
Please wait here.
Oh, great. More waiting.
Rises and leaves.
Sesh opens her water skin, has a drink, puts it back. Anybody else hungry?
Something stronger than water.
I got that.
Later. But definitely something stronger than water.
I don't know about anyone else, but I'm starving.
I'll hand
What else?
Justinia
I'm
some
bored.
food. I'll hand Justinia like some rations, some like salted meats.
Thank you.
Few minutes later, not too long, you're just starting to get into that ration. The door opens again, and you see Monty coming through the doorway and
Wait, why
sit
is it ghosting
opposite of
again?
you.
I haven't reattuned yet. I'm still just really weak. It's going to take me 3 hours of active attunement to
Yep.
get back to the status I was.
It'll be half a night before you get that back.
And I need a long rest as well, so...
Yeah.
Isaac's getting up late this morning.
I'm sorry for this. You've been caught up in a security situation. The individual you entered the city with is a part of an organization that has been linked, as far as we can tell, to multiple destabilizing incidents recently.
That's because
Yes,
they
we-
intend to invade.
We can give you quite a bit more information if you just want to be frank with us. We've been caught
I-
up in things since the Dwarven Freehold, so...
I am being frank. You told the truth.
Okay, Frank.
It's
Damn
a
it.
turn phrase, Rivallon.
So, what was the fort that was burnt, Roach? Because I'm going to add that to the corkboard with the red strings.
They didn't tell you the name of the fort.
Yeah, they
just,
did.
It's a border.
did.
It was
They
a
did.
border fort. It was a border fort along the Eberronen border with.
There you go.
Yeah, the
Tesh.
burning of the Eberron border fort was what they said.
Yeah, that's right. So, do you have any more questions you would like us to fill in the gaps with?
I was going to be honest with you.
Wow. It means you weren't so far. Excellent. Okay.
No, we expected you to be linked with this, and if that was the case, you would not be speaking to me.
Guess as much.
You entered with this individual previously, 2 months ago. A small group of 5 entered the city from the northern gate, spent money, bought supplies, and left. Few days later, a skyship was burned at anchor in Takova.
Yes.
A week later, a group came by, spent coin, left before we could apprehend and question them, and a border fort was burned, sparking a conflict as of late along that border.
Utesh is at war.
War is a harsh term.
Well,
Border conflict.
it's no different
somewhat
than back when they
common.
were raiders.
Yeah, so that's what. Okay.
I'm going to be quite honest with you, Mr. Money. This individual, her name is Sala, and she told us a little bit more about what her group is doing here. They look to destabilize and invade the successor kingdoms, as they feel that land is theirs. She told us some history. We couldn't get all the answers we wanted out of her, but we got enough.
Strange. We suspected the group had originated from the Fireward Isles.
No, they're from Orland.
A
Have you seen
trading
their
ship.
mounts?
You're
No,
right, dragons.
A powerful faction indeed.
We killed one of their dragons, which is what he's wearing. And I point at Rivallon.
Hi.
It turned out that that particular dragon was also Sala's mount. We killed it in the middle of the Steppe Kingdom. She was dehorsed. Horsed is the wrong word. You know what I mean. During a
Indeed.
mission there, and was picked up by their officer, the one in charge, who we
Commander
also
Volrend.
unfortunately escaped when we last engaged with them. We've been on the hunt of these people for quite some time.
They
How
have connections with
Fortunate for you.
some individuals. Namely a druid, who we made an enemy of. She is no longer around. Killed by said Commander Volrend.
And
As
to be-
far as we know, the nearest permanent settlement was on the Fireward Isles. A whaling ship traded with a group in civilian dress for some fish they had caught incidentally. They came back with this coin that you've seen produces a copper piece and then brings it back. Paraman cannot afford the ire or attention of northern power. Previously, that has not gone well for us. He's looking sideline at Isaac, as I'm sure you know.
Very fair assumption. I do not wish for Paramin to be caught up in anything at all.
I think, for a change, the Grey Wastes deserve to be left alone.
A cause I can get behind.
I like how Roach. Sorry, I like how Roach is freaking the fuck out of Midge out with that voice.
It's because, like, ever so slightly, it's quite quiet. So every now and then, the mic doesn't quite pick all of it up, so it kind of cuts in, and it's like,
It's perfect.
yeah, no,
It's kind of
To
how
be
he
fair,
how he
it's
sounds.
working as well because this call
Yeah, that's-
conversation is probably freaking Isaac out quite a bit as well.
Yeah, probably.
If I am
As- No.
correct in my information, and I normally am, you are a mercenary group that is looking for some coin.
Yeah,
Correct.
you could say that.
We are.
Unfortunately, my organization is stretched quite thin.
Want to hire the turquoise company for some work?
Hire would be a very official term for what I have in mind.
Okay, how about a under the table, above board exchange of coin for services?
Let's just say you will come across quite an amount of compensation
That works.
if
We'll
you
do that.
do some
What's the work?
work for us.
What
As
kind?
of now,
Where?
we have very little information of this group, and I assume you wish to know a bit more as well. So we have a common goal.
Yes.
While he's talking, Sesh has pulled out a piece of parchment, an inkwell, and a quill, and is writing all the information that she got from Sala, which is just copying this.
If my information is correct, and I believe it very much is, the only permanent location these individuals currently are located at is on one of the Fireward Isles to the west of Rapkus, a former fishing village that seems to have oddly had a new lighthouse made in a short amount of time.
okay.
A journey can be arranged and paid for. Information must be gathered and reported back.
What information are you looking for specifically? What should we keep an eye out on for? that
Anything would be good if you are correct about them, and if our guesses on their intentions are correct. Something large is due to happen soon.
Yes.
It must be countered, because if the northern powers feel that Paramin is somehow linked to this event, it would be of an unfortunate it would create an unfortunate situation for the city, and we must avoid that. It is our only purpose.
I will hand him the scroll. Here's all the information we got from Sala directly. If there's anything in
Make
there,
a perception check, by the way.
make a perception check.
Yeah, make a perception check.
Is my
Uh,
shield in effect or no? Because it matters.
Yes, because you don't have to attune to it. Actually, no, you're within. No,
Yeah,
it's
if
not,
I'm
because
if
he's
I'm
within
within
10 feet of you.
Yeah, if I'm within
He's
10
within
feet.
10 feet, yeah.
Oh,
21.
13.
21. Rivallon sees it. When he takes the scroll, it's odd. His the point of contact where the scroll starts moving and everything like that doesn't necessarily match where his hand's actually at. It's a subtle thing, but it's slightly out of phase. But the scroll does leave, and he takes it.
If there are any further points of interest in that scroll, please feel free to contact me
Don't
or any
worry.
of my friends here. They
We
can.
know where you are staying.
Yeah, I figured that out pretty quickly. You really need to get better shadows.
My Thanes are discreet, as
Not
they
discreet
can
enough.
be.
Then
Well,
again,
You,
Guys, it's a testament to why they're willing to work with us if the fact that we somewhat matched the already
to be fair, as I am being
well-trained members.
honest with you, the only reason we are working with you is you are painfully expendable to us.
that's also fair.
Yeah.
That was sort of assumed in the fine print.
Before we finalize this arrangement or whatever it is, when Sala left, she did give me some information that was basically only because I was honest with her from the very beginning about what happened to her dragon. She advised me to stay away from the southern area of the continent for the next couple of months.
Maybe get a messenger to Alhood.
That would be in keeping with our own estimates. The amount of diversionary actions undertaken by her compatriots indicate a plan coming to fruition which must not be seen beforehand. And to destabilize the major powers, the Tarkovan military and the Teutonian military at each other's throats, the Uteshian steppe riders and Anbara openly fighting, and succession kingdoms mistrustful of the Teutonian government, makes for a very weak, united front.
Commander
You now
Monet,
see what we mean.
may
Sorry,
I
what'd you say?
ask- Commander Monet, may I ask a question? It's unrelated.
Just money, if you please.
Very well. My personal investigations revolve around the Kingsoak family. Do you have any
Yes.
information?
Your brother.
You are well informed.
What do you wish to know?
As much as you can tell me.
Probably going to be a little bit more specific than that.
Do you
We
know
can make it a
that-
part of your payment for a completed job.
We split the company is 5 equal parts. Pay us 4.5 parts.
We'll work out specifics later.
Virginia,
Fine.
you've been very quiet. What do you think of all this?
I think we're not arrested. We can still do what we need to do. I think this is okay. I don't have any political view.
Technically, you
I-
are being detained right now. I
Well,
suppose.
technically, but you know,
I feel very detained.
whatever.
As
Definitely the safest I've felt out of handcuffs in a long time.
as possibly the only person in this party with some political affiliation. Is there anything else I can do?
No. You are just fine. Please remain as non-discreet as you have been, for the most part.
Yeah. Those weren't your expendables who we took out in that alley, by the way.
No.
No. Okay.
Merely a test.
Which we failed?
No. You
Okay.
succeeded with flying colors.
Depends on the test, I guess.
I'm afraid my duties require me elsewhere. Please, follow this one outside. We will contact you later. And you see the image of Moody disappear, and a nondescript Thane is left. And a slightly different voice comes up. Please, follow me out.
Sesh will stand now that she's been told to go, and go.
I'm getting the hell out, so...
I do turn to
Fine.
Estenia as we stand up and say, I guess you weren't wrong about them wanting to hire you.
Yeah.
You exit and leave the warehouse. You see nobody outside, and when the door closes, it looks like an empty warehouse.
So, alcohol?
Alcohol.
Right.
As
let's
much
go.
as an
Sleep.
orc can drink.
Massive amount of sleep and study. I do apologize. I can't join you for drinks tonight.
Maybe have
Rest.
one by yourself. You deserve it.
Are we 3 minutes to the end of the game?
Yeah.
Yes.
We
That
are.
time?
Yes.
Why don't we end it there with all of you heading back to the red rogue, and starting to enjoy yourselves, and you guys can think about what just happened and kind of talk amongst yourselves during the week about what you're gonna do.
So, thank you everybody for watching this episode of Sleeping Giants. We'll be back next week, same time, 7:30 BST. Work that out wherever you are.
Yourself.
As always, thank you to Commissar Roach, our GM, for this campaign. You can find him, because I forgot to say last time, you can find him at Commissar Roach.
You've been forgetting to say that for the past couple of months. I'm gonna say, just pointing it out.
Because
Yeah,
he's
alright.
a dickhead.
It's because you get into a pattern of your closing,
You
like,
do.
thing.
I get it.
You guys know. You guys know, because
No, I don't actually. I don't do
Roach,
YouTube.
you could say your YouTube closer like in under a minute flat probably by now.
Oh yeah, no, I can do. Yeah, I can say it quick.
And it's just, but anyway, Roach, yeah, go find him. He's a cool dude.
Okay.
Surely only Mikey.
Hi.
He's just a tag.
I'm just fucking here for the memes, bro.
Red Moogle, who you can find on Rival Zone Gaming's channel. You can find him on Rival Zone Gaming on YouTube and on Twitch. And you could also find Utarionzo on Twitch. And you can find myself, Midgeman, wherever you find your Midgemen. And we will see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.